Oh, apparently today is my affiliate anniversary.
Wow.
Whatever that means. I don't even know what an affiliate is, honestly.
Huh?
There are two cats sitting on my bed right now. Hey, Junior. So now it's time for the usual buy 5 minutes worth of time so that the first ad break can hit. So for the Dragon Quest 100%, thankfully, through pure gameplay, I was able to do it a lot easier than it would have been. So, one of the achievements, you need to learn every spell and ability. One of the final bosses is Zenlon, who you get special wishes for every time you beat him, but you have to beat him faster and faster each time. I made a mistake the first time I fought him and picked the wrong answer. You only need 2 of his items to actually get all the achievements. And so what I ended up doing was resetting back to my previous save, because that was just before I went to fight Zenlon, and fighting him again. That way I could claim the one reward, and then the next one. Because it goes from beating him in 25 turns to 15 after the third fight. Which I was not going to be able to do. Unless I grinded out levels. So thankfully I was able to go back, get the 2 rewards that I actually needed for the achievement, and then finish it out. But apparently there's this other extra final boss, the true end to the story. And you get some really cute cutscenes after it. And I beat that one first. Apparently you're able to just go fight Zenlon as soon as you enter post-game, and I just didn't notice that there's a special teleporter downstairs in the Fairy Palace. I just didn't notice. So I was I finished the super extra boss or whatever, and then I looked at the achievements and I was like, wait a minute, that one's rarer than the Zenlon? How the huh?
So you're gonna start streaming on Discord again, or?
Oh, did it stop?
Yeah.
That's weird. All I did was move the tab over. There you go.
Me politely waiting for you to stop talking.
Listen, I was on my Yap train.
I can tell. Don't
Yeah.
worry. I was there.
Funny enough, neither of those were the final achievements I needed. The final achievement I needed for Dragon Quest II was killing 10 metal slimes. Because they just don't show up anywhere naturally. There's one island where they spawn quite frequently, and they just don't have anywhere else in the pool. But yeah, sorry about the Yap session about Dragon Quest achievements.
Alex.
What?
Don't lie to my face. No, you're not.
But yeah, listen, okay, I love achievement hunting, alright?
No, it's fine. Just don't lie to my face like that. Anyway, are we reading, or?
I mean, we have to wait for the first ad break. In 4 minutes. I don't want to start reading and then get hit by the ad break. I mean, to be fair, this one, now that I look at it, we could have got this one in before the first ad break.
You could fit this at the bottom of a fucking TV ad.
This is the type of SCP you'd see as the fucking side
This is
effects
the fucking
of some
medical.
drug.
This is the medical disclaimer at the bottom of some random medicine that no one will ever take.
They just read it really fast at the end, special activity procedure, but not being used. SCP 330.
I wonder if those people are paid slightly more for doing that. Probably not.
I doubt it. It get probably paid just as much as any other voice on a TV commercial.
So not, probably.
Yeah. Junior's so cute. Hi, Junior.
Joker.
I think it's really cute how much he loves me. Like, Otis comes
Silly
back
cat.
to my room, but it's always on his terms when he comes over to, like, see me or do stuff. He, like, most of the time he wants to sit in the window. Junior will sit at the edge of my bed watching me. Just, like, laying there. He doesn't even care about the window. He just wants to be as close to me as possible.
Spectacular.
I love that cat, man. He's loafed up right now.
Oh, yeah.
Front half of the loaf is looking incredible, but you can see his back paw sticking out a little bit, so... You get 8 out of 10.
How appropriate considering the SCP.
What is this?
Yeah, you'll see.
Oh, did you read it all?
No.
Metagaming the SCP article.
Hey, I just saw like a couple snippets and like, oh, that's really funny considering he's actively talking about his cat.
I think this one was called Tumbles.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I should probably pull the YouTube stream up.
Nah.
How do I do that again?
You're the filthy streamer.
Ad break ends at 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. It's still good to like just let the ad play out before we start.
Oh man,
I don't like the idea of just starting the read the moment the stream launches.
I mean, yeah, I understand. It's just that we're both dog ass at small talk.
Yeah, I really need to get like a going live thing set up. So it's like I can start the stream early, just have like the mic and stuff muted, and then like a picture of a slime bouncing or something will show up on stream until I actually
Steal a gift from somewhere. It cannot be that hard.
I don't want one that's off of the fucking web, dude. I want my own.
Fuck you.
Okay. Item number SCP-331. Object class safe. Special containment procedures. When not being used, SCP-331 is to be kept within a typical electronic 7-digit metal safe in Dr. Redacted's office. The code is to be changed on a monthly basis by Dr. Redacted. Personnel who wish to examine SCP-331 must ask Dr. Redacted for authorization beforehand. As of Redacted, SCP-331 is worn by SCP-331-1. Description: SCP-331 is a red plastic cat collar approximately 23 centimeters in length. Metal studs surround the collar at intervals of 1 centimeter. Testing has confirmed the metal to be nickel. The bell consists of stainless steel, electroplated with 24-karat gold. Ringing the bell has no distinguishable effect, adverse or otherwise. The word "Tumbles" has been painted on the back of the collar in yellow paint. Testing has confirmed that there is nothing unusual about the paint. SCP-331 exhibits no abnormal tendencies when worn by a living cat. When SCP-331 is fastened around the neck of a deceased cat, hereafter SCP-331-1, SCP-331-1 is resurrected with no initial adverse effects. The collar does not halt the decomposition process, however. Fur and skin still rot at a regular pace. Organs are unaffected by the decomposition process. Testing has not yet determined the exact cause for this. SCP-331-1 shows no signs of distress during the decomposition process. SCP-331-1 can be killed by conventional methods, whereupon it remains deceased. The separation of SCP-331 and SCP-331-1 data expunged, and thus SCP-331-1 is deceased. It should be noted that SCP-331-1 always answers to Tumbles and has an amiable personality, despite what it was called or how it behaved pre-mortem. SCP-331 was discovered when reports reached Agent Redacted of a zombie cat witnessed around Redacted Park in Redacted. Agent Redacted immediately alerted the Foundation of a possible outbreak of SCP-008. MTF Redacted was dispatched and neutralized SCP-331-1, whereupon it was transported to Site Redacted after no trace of SCP-008 was found. Upon arrival, research was conducted on SCP-331 that confirmed its properties.
I like this one actually. It's bordering on being a stub article, but it's got like enough to it. I like that it has a cute little tie-in of, ah, fuck, this is an outbreak of 8, isn't it? No,
Yeah.
no, it's just a zombie cat.
Yeah,
He's a chill little guy. Give him bits. Just don't touch any of the particular like rotten bits.
Alright, now it's your turn, Mort.
Yeah.
No, should I take... Oh, this is the Kirk Onward High School.
Yeah.
Oh, that's...
Oh,
I believe that's relevant.
Also, I had meant to say the joke earlier, but that's just fucking Dr. Bright's cat, isn't it?
That would make sense.
Oh god, he's died. Okay, are you back now?
Oh, I'm back. Great. Love that
Okay.
happened in the literal first 10 minutes of stream.
Anyway, I can't wait for fucking Mod Meconium to kick in and actually try to make that cat relevant. It's the same kind of magical artifact as Dr. Bright's wearing. Fuck you.
Junior, you're not a little zombie cat, are you?
Does he answer to Tumbles?
Tumbles? No.
Alright, off to a good start.
I've been given the old test. Okay. Item number SCP-332. Object class safe. Special containment procedures. Kirk Lawnwood High School has been declared condemned. SCP-332 therefore requires no containment other than a standard security patrol between January and August. Between the months of September and December, SCP-332 is to be accompanied at all times by an armed escort, who are to play ambient noise recordings at high volumes next to SCP-332. They play creepy music over the loudspeakers. Ambient noise is to be plausible for the surroundings. Typical soundscapes include construction, weather, or traffic. Description: SCP-332 is the Kirk Lawnwood High School marching band at the fall 1975 season. The band is composed of 30 members, which are designated as SCP-332 through -1 through SCP-332-30. All members of SCP-332 were formerly enrolled as seniors at Kirk Lawnwood High School and expected to graduate in spring 1976. All uniforms and instruments of SCP-332 instances are labeled as belonging to Syncope Symphony. The majority of the time, SCP-332 instances are stationary inside of the Kirk Lawnwood High School band room. During these periods, they are positioned as if they are holding an animated discussion. No Foundation efforts have been successful in provoking any kind of reaction from a stationary instance, and they do not seem to have any functional biological systems. No damage, wear, or movement has successfully been imposed on SCP-332. SCP-332 activates according to the Kirk Lawnwood High School home game football schedule. This entails an activation at roughly 7 p.m. local time on 1 or 2 days per week. Weeks with a single activation indicate that an away game would be played by the Kirk Lawnwood football team. Between the months of September and December, during this time, SCP-332 will resume their conversation. After 30 minutes, they will proceed to the field and perform. They will then stand below the bleachers, wait, and then perform again 1 hour later. After this, they will head back to the band room and begin their conversation from earlier, freezing in the middle. SCP-332 was initially discovered on December 12, 1975, shortly following the last scheduled marching band performance of the season. According to witness reports, SCP-332 took the field during the final game of the season and performed as initially intended. While the songs played were not as initially scheduled, they were not so abnormal as to draw particular notice. All had been previously played by SCP-332 during the preceding 4 months. However, following the end of the game, it was discovered that the 30 members of SCP-332 were missing. Rather than having changed out of their uniforms and reconnected with friends and family at the end of the game as expected, SCP-332 had seemingly vanished. They were found 45 minutes after the end of the game, unmoving and not responding to stimuli in the Kirk Glenwood music room. This caused widespread and publicized panic, which in turn alerted the Foundation to possible anomalous activity. In the process of fabricating a cover story, further complicated by the discovery of additional anomalies associated with Kirk Glenwood High School, Foundation investigators discovered that most members of SCP-332 had expressed anxieties or concerns about the future. No instances expressed optimism towards the future. The individuals not known to have expressed concerns were those for whom the Foundation was unable to form a psychological profile for of any kind. It is assumed they had such fears but did not express them to others. 3 excerpts of psychological profiles have been included below to give a better depiction of the mental state of SCP-332. These have been chosen for their clarity, direct discussion of relevant ideas, and diversity of type. Interview between Operative Blackwire of Mobile Task Force Zeta-2 and Dieter Mackenzie, an art teacher at Kirk Glenwood High School, concerning a student of hers, Sadie Freeman, SCP-332.
Hang on. What the fuck was the name that you tried to say a moment ago?
Dieter, I don't know,
Daedry. I think I've heard both of those.
I don't know, I've never heard that name. It's a dumb name. Sorry to any Deidres in chat.
I don't think anyone's named that.
Also, there's so many red text here, we're dealing with them after the article.
Hang on. Deirdre. Okay, what the fuck?
It's a weird name, okay? I just wanted to pass by it.
Why? Yeah, no, just...
But,
I've seen the name before, that's why I bothered. Go on.
Something I just want to point out already is that any article that doesn't rely too heavily on, like, redactions is immediately so much better than any one where, like, every date, name, and everything is redacted. Like, this is so
what
enjoyable.
What do you think is the SCP article that really planted that evil seed?
I swear we had one that was over half redactions at one point.
I mean, yeah. Listen, I can understand if it's supposed to be, like, a really classified Keter entity, but there are things in Safe that have similar levels of fucking redactions.
Yeah.
I could get more out of the fucking... No, never mind.
Yeah. It's a piece of gum that if you chew it, you speak in the third person for a day. Half the article's redacted. You are not allowed to know this information about, like, the first person who tried its username on Discord. You can't. Like, that doesn't need to be redacted.
Yeah.
Alright,
Who the fuck is Blackwire?
Operative Blackwire.
Oh. Okay.
Alright, do you want to take Blackwire or I take Mackenzie?
I don't particularly care.
Okay. How about that then?
Alright, so I'm Blackwire then?
Yep.
Thank you for taking the time to speak with me. I know you're up to your ears in federal agents these days, but I just wanted to ask you a few questions about one, Sadie Freeman? She would have been in your second period painting class.
Oh yes. Sadie was one of my best students here. It's a shame what happened to her.
Oh, I'm sorry to remind you of that, ma'am. I'm actually here to talk about some of her class history with you and what that was like.
Of course. You need to speak with me specifically for some reason.
She loved your class, didn't she?
Adored it.
Did she ever talk about the future? About art and your class, I mean?
All the time. She always told me that she wished she could use her skills here in life, but she was going to school as a business major. That was what her parents wanted for her. And I guess she didn't have much say in it.
Do you knew where she was going already?
Oh no, but all the schools she had applied to were for business, not art. Wharton, not RI, RISD. Father's decision.
That's quite unfortunate. But she wanted to pursue art as a career path.
I don't know if calling it as a career path is the right idea. She wanted to do art as, how did she put it, forever? Or maybe sometimes it was, I wish I never had to do anything else.
Which is reasonable person might mean as a job.
But I always just got the sense she was daydreaming.
Which doesn't require you to be reasonable, per se.
You're right.
So we've got a girl who really wants to make art and never do anything else. Not even, apparently, a job, since she didn't want to be a business major.
Well, keep in mind, she was a teenager, only 17.
Right, fair. Say, did she specify the kind of art all that often?
No, I don't think she did. She clearly had ambitions outside of painting in my class. She really loved marching band, too. Always talked about that, always in the same breath as my class.
So she'd be just as happy playing a tune forever as she would be painting forever.
Yes, I think that's right.
Interesting.
Wait, isn't that... It can't be real, is it? But then where else would she be?
Keep taking your pills, ma'am. These ones marked with the G.
Gee, oh no, that's you, sorry.
G stands for good, right? I'll get out of your hair now.
Yeah, my bad. The entire article was back and
it kept
forth.
that for the... Threw me off as a bit, too.
Yeah. Because this is so much like what I would have expected her to say.
Saying so in jest, yeah.
Again, this still... I could more so believe that this was a mistype and this was supposed to be Mackenzie. Because this doesn't sound like what a fucking
I feel
NTF
like...
operative would say.
No, I could see them saying that for a bit of levity. This one seems like he's relatively grounded as a person.
Fuck.
Ah,
Oh, there's like 4 people here.
piss.
Group
Okay.
discussion led by Operative Blackwire and 3 surviving students of Kirk Longwood High School concerning Stephen Farragut, SB 332-10, a tubist. Tubist? Tubist. Conversation conducted while survivors were playing basketball in Johnny Gillespie's driveway.
Giuseppe?
Oh, hell yeah. That's the
Gillespie?
perfect environment for an interview.
Hell.
Alright, how the fuck are we handling this, man?
Okay, so how many total people are there?
4. Looks like it's mostly... like, Blackwire still has, like, half the lines.
That's fine, so I can keep Blackwire.
Yeah, and then I could just handle, like...
I can take Naff, or whatever the fuck his name is, because dear God, who names the person that?
That is not a human...
I assume that's like a foreign last name. It doesn't look like we have to say the name, thank God.
It's a Greek surname.
You know what? Yeah, no, I can kind of see that actually. It looks stupid enough.
Yeah, okay.
No offense to the Greeks, but...
Alright.
Alright, yeah, so I'll...
Yep.
Blackwire and Naff. Fuck it. Hey, I'm gonna need to take a moment of your time, you 3.
How come?
You know this kid?
Yeah, so what?
We're investigating him. Need to know what he was up to. What he was thinking in the moments before things went off.
You don't think he had anything to do with it?
Want to help rule him out?
Sure, hit us.
He was really unsure about what college he wanted to go to. He'd submitted all his applications, but was expecting them all to be acceptances.
My man was smart.
He was sure they'd all be acceptances. Enough.
He'd have options.
but he didn't have a ranked list of favorites. According to him, they all had extreme ups and downs, and he weighed those ups and downs different on any given day. Like what?
This school is too close. This one too expensive. This one doesn't have the majors and minors he needs. Better job opportunities over there, better social life over here.
Interesting. And how did he feel about the present? In retrospect, I should have given you NAF, Jesus.
Yeah.
Apologies. Do you want to swap?
Nah, keep going.
Okay. He was happy where he was, on track to be valedictorian, student body, class officer, great girlfriend, everything.
If we're really honest, he was kind of lining himself up to be the peaked in high school type of guy.
Right, I'm familiar with the type. I'm sure you are, old-timer.
Rude.
Alright, did the marching band play into anything at all? Did the marching band play into things at all? He was happy with his position there?
Oh yeah, never shut up about it.
Are you planning to do it beyond the end of the season?
He joined the band in college, wherever he was, whatever he was doing. That was always in the cards. He'd be in the marching band. And he had it his way until the day he died.
Informative. Now, I'm sorry to have been a pain, but this is really helpful. You boys have a nice day. I'm sure I'll see you around again if I have any follow-up questions.
Yeah, this one's good. I really like how it's written.
Yeah.
Like, it's so refreshing to have one that just has, like, genuinely good, like, interviews, like, a good
I
article,
can read the
good,
fucking
like,
words.
background. Like, we're piecing together why it happened. And I love that.
I'm a going stupid, going crazy. Anyway.
Final entry of a journal recovered from the house of Nathan Blaston, SCP-332-30, a member of the percussion section of SCP-332. Based on contextual clues, the following journal entry was written on December 10th, 1975. I can't do it. I can't let myself wither and let the rot into my bones and into my heart. It can't know me in that way, and I won't let it happen. Rot is closer every day, creeping and creeping around every corner. Almost here. Nothing worse in the world. Never grow older. Or change into something. Fuck. No. No. What? I'm drowning out here and nobody cares. I need to change. I can't change. I'll never change. I don't want to change. I want to be who I am. I can't be anything other than what I am, and that excites me. I can't wait. Forever and ever and dream last night of us playing in the marching band, and the fog was there, and the world was quiet, and I can't remember anything else. Syncope, a temporary loss of blood to an organ, often used with reference to the brain, in which case it presents as fainting, and used as a metonymy with a state of falling unconscious. I think I'd rather die than grow old. There's a new version?
Oh.
Notice from the Foundation Records and Information Security Administration. The above file is an archived copy of SCP-332 documentation dating to 2012. The above... click here to view the most recent version. First, I do want to check out, like, the different reds to see if any of them are relevant.
Gee.
That's a...
Nope. Wrong. Bad.
It's probably related to Kirk Lawnwood High School. We are not going to read it just because it's related
That's fine.
to Kirk
Get
Lawnwood
away from
High
me.
School. It's probably
Nope,
related to
Get it away
Kirk
from
Lawnwood
me.
High School. We're not going to read it just because it's...
Nuh-uh.
It's probably
Nice try,
related
fucker.
for Kirk...
You'll get
this
no
one
sympathy
is
from
the
me.
Kirk Lawnwood High School.
Get away from
Wait
me!
a minute.
No.
I did remember that having some crossover between the Kirk Lawnwood High School from like some
Holy shit,
reading that I
Team Zeta
listened to.
too.
Alright, cool, that's
Nope,
another
stop.
SC.
Bad. It's just fucking advertisements. Gee.
I'll give it some credit here. These are probably
Oh.
all related to the Kirk Longwood High School for the most part. This is just Amnestic's guide.
I mean, that would be neat to read at some point. Gaslighting? You know what? Fuck yeah.
Alright, cool.
Yeah, that's a good way of handling it. Just let them convince themselves. Oh. Oh, piss. Where?
Oh, this is actually shorter.
Oh, never mind. Actually, that's manageable.
Why is it this
Do we
color?
want to? This is a different thing. This is the Ad Astra hub. Not sure what the hell this is, but
Do we want to read this? What does that even mean? Oh, they're wearing dazzle clothes? Okay, I think we're not going to read this. Oh, but yeah, I did really like the Kurt Longwood High School Marching Band. Again, just really well written article compared to a lot of the stuff we end up with. Alright, I believe it's your turn. My light's too bright. Let me get this shit off.
I thought this was connected. Oh wait, no, we are just passing on. Sorry, I'm also talking to someone.
Oh, okay. You want me to take this article as well then?
I mean, it was impromptu, but yeah, sure, go ahead.
Okay. Item number SCP-333. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-333-A. 1 through 1,618 are to be stored in a standard secure containment locker within Site Redacted. Accessible only to personnel possessing Level 3 clearance or greater, with authorization of at least 2 clearance Level 4 personnel. As testing with SCP-333-B and SCP-333-C has concluded, any performance of SCP-333-A is strictly prohibited. Description: SCP-333-A are 1,618 identical copies of a musical score of unknown title and origin. When the score denoted by SCP-333-A is performed by an orchestra of sufficient size, see Addendum 333-1, SCP-333-B manifests. The chamber SCP-333-A is performed in may be entered normally. However, roughly 3 minutes into a performance, anything leaving the chamber arrives in SCP-333-B. Re-entry of the performance hall from SCP-333-B is possible given it is temporarily integrated into SCP-333-B. SCP-333-B appears to be a metropolitan area devoid of any signs of habitation, past or present. Due to its nature, it is unknown when SCP-333-B was constructed, using what materials, by whom, or even if it was constructed in the conventional sense at all. See Addendum 333-4. For as long as performance of SCP-333-A continues, SCP-333-B may be traversed freely. This is all crossed out. Preliminary testing concerning utilizing SCP-333-B as a multi-purpose Foundation facility appears promising. See Addendum 335. See Addenda 333-6 and -9. That was all crossed out. No more using it as a Foundation base for some reason or another. Following cessation of a performance, SCP-333-B dematerializes along with anything within at the time. I'm going to be shortening it to dash whatever the hell. I'm really tired of saying, like, SCP-333.
We just started.
See Addendum -2. Instrumentation left within suggests that unless a performance of -A is occurring, -B experiences no passage of time and may not exist at all. Sorry. Dash C is a highly aggressive entity of variable appearance and composition residing within Dash B. All manifestations of Dash C have proven much more durable than its composition would suggest, requiring considerable firepower to terminate outside of Dash B, and possessing apparent invincibility well within. See Addendum Dash 8. Should Dash C manage to escape, Dash B it will remain until the next time Dash B manifests unless terminated. Following termination, Dash C will dematerialize as well. Addendum Dash 1. SCP B, but not SVP. Dash B will not fully manifest unless Dash A is performed by a minimum of 49 musicians with a single concert hall. Larger numbers of musicians appear to correlate to a larger and more complex metropolitan area. Additionally, simultaneous performances in different locales result in integration of all concert halls within Dash A, within which Dash A is being performed. Dash B could hypothetically serve as a means of rapid transit between Foundation facilities. That's really funny, actually. They set up a fucking warp point when they play like 50 bands together. Dash 2. The content of all 1,618 original instances of Dash A have been observed to change following each performance. All remain identical to each other. Copies of Dash A do not display this polymorphic nature. Addendum Dash 3. Changes undergone by Dash A appear to constitute the inclusion of motifs representing any foreign materials left behind by exploration teams. Given that copies of original Dash A do not update to reflect material within Dash B, it may be possible to selectively manifest materials and possibly even personnel within Dash B. A more in-depth cost-benefit analysis will follow. Dash 4. Visual, chemical, and mass spectrometric examination of structures within Dash B indicates their composition is directly dependent upon the composition of instrumentation utilized for the corresponding performance of Dash A. Additionally, it appears that the better a particular instrument is played, the less its composition is reflected within Dash B. I'm lost. What do you mean the composition is reflected within Dash B? I have no idea, and I'm done trying to understand it. I don't think I like how this article is written. It's just like, it's so hard to keep track of what's happening when we get Dash A, Dash B, then Dash A, Dash B, DB, to then the Dash C came up and slapped Dash A in the face, and then Dash B got angry. It's like, which one slapped who again? What, huh? It's so hard to keep track of when it's spammed this much. Okay. Additionally, it appears that the better a particular instrument is played, the less its composition is reflected within Dash B, given that structures within Dash B are always of similar composition to the instruments utilized. It has been suggested that these structures may not have a finite composition. However, considering errors you cause the composition of a particular instrument to feature more prominently. It is also possible that corruption of Dash B is unavoidable due to general inability to perform Dash A precisely enough. Okay. Experiment logs A, B, 1 through 9 are pending declassification. Addendum Dash 5. Cost-benefit analysis. RE XP333 as a Foundation asset. This is literally all crossed out. Rapid long-distance transit. If used for transit between facilities, SCP-B could allow for rapid dissemination of SCP objects in the event of a containment breach. This risk should not be taken lightly. Cloning of personnel, items, SCP objects, etc., effectively granting the Foundation access to infinite resources. Contingency plan in case of world-ending events. Personnel critical to the operation of the Foundation, a cache of useful SCP objects, and a store of various provisions and resources could be left within -B. This would ensure their survival, provided performance of a suitable copy of -A may take place. A garrison and armory. The song itself could be utilized as several different Foundation facilities simultaneously. Particularly dangerous Euclid and Keter class objects could each be deposited in their own instance of -B. If -A is performed as it was prior to an SCP object being deposited, -B will manifest without the SCP. If SCP-A is performed as it is following an SCP object being deposited, -B will manifest with the SCP present. Performance of identical copies of -A could take place in several locations, allowing access to prospective facility from several places. A kill switch to sever -B from any adjoining facilities is strongly advised. The risk of accidental discovery of -A should be carefully considered before any utilization of -B for these purposes takes place. Oh my god, I cannot wait to be done reading this one. Consult Addendum -9. Addendum -6. -C is capable of leading -B. Any sighting of -C within -B is grounds for immediate evacuation and cessation of -A performance. Composition of -C appears linked to musical instruments utilized in similar fashion to -B. Closer scrutiny of footage recorded during experiments A, B, 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8 fashion to be the -B. Closer. Fuck, God, this is so hard to read. Has found SCP-C present, appearing to be of a similar composition to each corresponding instance of -B, making it difficult to distinguish from its surroundings. This likely explains why its presence initially went unnoticed. Addendum -8. Operation redacted unsuccessful. Operational losses exceeded 90%. A 5 megaton tactical nuclear device was detonated within -B in a last-ditch attempt to prevent SCP-C from escaping. -C was undeterred. Oh my god, Junior, you're so cute. -9. Corruption of materials left within -B has been noted. This corruption generally takes the form of minuscule changes in chemical composition of objects left within, though in extreme cases, physical deformation has been observed. Notable examples include malfunction of ROV-13B due to critical circuitry being displaced by redacted and the discovery of D-1017 skeletal system being composed of 0.1% brass by weight. I hereby rescind my prior recommendations for utilization of SCP-333. Dr. Redacted. Addendum -10. Computer-aided analysis of -A and all copies thereof considered alongside the events of -A, B, 1 through 9. Operation Redacted indicates beyond a shadow of a doubt that -A dictates any and all occurrences -B within -B, including activity of Foundation personnel and -C. All further testing of 333 is hereby suspended indefinitely. Holy fuck.
And good riddance, apparently. I'm gonna be honest, Helix, I was effectively not present for any of that, so...
Just look at... Hold on, let me... Where's the fucking find button?
Oh!
And keep in mind, there are -A through -C. 93
describe to me
times.
what this shit does, if you tried?
What?
Could you even describe to me what this shit does, if you if you wanted to?
Set of 1,600 music instruments. When played, when played successfully, I think, it manifests out the doors of the music hall that they're played in, just this metropolitan city, based on the amount of players. I think the composition of the city somewhat correlates to the materials the instruments are made of, and like maybe how well they're played. And they were testing to see if, like, oh, maybe we can use this as some type of interdimensional, like, foundation facility to hide, like, dangerous objects, or like a doomsday vault, like we keep things safe in here in case things go bad outside. And then a monster shows up, and that monster is made out of mostly what the instruments are made out of. And they were wondering if they could, like, make an instrument out of diamonds and then play it in there, and then it would show up as, like, diamonds in the thing, infinite resources. But they weren't able to consistently get that to work, I guess. Like, this was just such a clusterfuck to read. Because it's like any time I was trying to understand what was happening, it was all just -C this, -B that, -A this. And it's like I'm losing track of what we were originally fucking talking about. Because it's more like I'm reading about 3 different SCPs at once.
I feel like this one needs reformatted then.
It's just really bad.
Maybe a second writing, Christ. There's not that many lines in this one relative to how many times SCP is said. Jesus fuck.
Look at this last addendum. That's like a paragraph, and we get the words SCP-333 like over 5 times in one paragraph.
No, that's not a paragraph, Helix. That's holy run on Batman. Jesus fucking Christ. What is that?
You're right, that's one.
Okay.
No, there's a second sentence here.
2 sentences.
Two sentences, and we have SCP-333 5 times.
Okay, maybe it's not technically.
There was also a whole bunch of. You see,
shit.
like, most of the article is this. These are 9 addendums.
Yeah.
And throughout the entire article, it's like see addendum 333-2, see addendum 333-8.
See addendum 5. Oh, like, no, sorry. Actually, don't
-4.
Look at that. Look at 9
there's,
and...
there's like
addendum 6 and 9
genuinely
instead.
more addendums in 300. How often does it say 333? Other than SCP. 99 times!
As opposed to SCP-33.
This is like half the words in the fucking article.
Yeah, no, this one would need to be rewritten for me to have anything. This has 214. Hang on, go back. A positive 214.
It's a neat idea.
Am I missing something?
Awful. Like, God, shorten it at some point. Like, we get it. The -A-B-C. Oh, okay, I need to go get a fucking drink. I read, like, the past 3 articles. Hi, Junior. I will be right back.
Yep.
Oh, okay, I'm back.
Yeah, apologies. I was speaking with family.
Yeah,
so.
you're fine, you're fine. Are you good now?
More or less.
Okay.
I can take the next one. Okay. Item number SCP-334. Object class equal. Special containment procedures. SCP-334 is to be kept in a standard heat-treated containment cell, surrounded by a magnetic field generators positioned so that all 6 sides have an overlapping field projecting at least 15 centimeters from the inner cell walls. Great. Each generator is to have multiple redundant backups and power sources, including emergency batteries capable of maintaining full magnetic field output for no less than 30 minutes. Shit, that's it? Okay.
Yeah, if there's ever a containment breach, it'll probably only last 30 minutes. Either everyone's
Probably
in
fine, it's good,
the
it's great.
facilities are dead, or they've managed to get it under control.
Listen, if there's a fucking breach at that fucking site, it's not their problem anymore. Maintenance of the anti-heat coating is to be carried on a weekly schedule, with subject to be transferred to a secondary cell to allow for more extensive repairs if needed. 3 live mice are to be introduced to its cell at random time every day to reduce chances of subject learning the pattern and attempting to escape. Due to SCP-334's hunting and burrowing instincts, the floor of containment is to be reinforced with an anti-heating coating, or made of a substance with a melting point greater than redacted degrees Celsius. Great, fine, whatever. I understand that one, but I would have liked to know. With a magnetic containment field underneath reinforced to approximately 1.5 times that of the other surfaces. Subject hunts in a fashion typical of foxes, with a strong downward pounce, which has proven capable of penetrating a small distance into the containment fields, and has been the cause of redacted containment breaches to date. Oh, okay. Description. SCP-34 is a small cloud of superheated plasma in the shape of a specimen most closely resembling Vulpes vulpes, or the common red fox. Great.
Great.
Got it.
Plasma
You know what? I
fox.
suppose I understand now. Its body appears similar to waves of steam or fire, revealing gaps between the filament of gas through which the opposite side is visible. Its filaments fluoresce in the spectrum of red and orange, with eyes in the blue spectrum. Subject has a negligible measurable mass and has no central body to speak of. SCP-334 apparently believes it is actually a red fox and displays several normal Vulpine behaviors, such as hunting prey and in test 334F-3 redacted. Great. Whether it is an entity that imprinted on a Vulpine or it's a Vulpine which has transformed into its current state is unknown and under investigation. Yeah, good luck trying to find that out, Chief.
Why don't they just ask it?
God, you're right. Since it is composed of superheated ionized gas, containment of SCP-334 is effectively impossible without the use of magnetic containment fields, and is difficult even then, as the heat and energetic effects extend an average of 7 centimeters around its entire body, rapidly sublimating physical obstructions. Although its surface temperature is in excess of redacted degrees Celsius, the heat disperses rapidly, cooling to redacted degrees Celsius. Oh, thank God. Within 10 centimeters, far faster than the laws of thermodynamics would indicate. There is evidence that SCP-334 is capable of controlling its heat output. Subject is capable of bursts of speeds, zoomies, at approximately 160 kilometers per hour. Jesus fuck. Okay. Big zoomies, understood. For about 10 seconds. These bursts of speed disperse the subject's mass, tiring it out, making it need to rest while it reforms. The subject derives nourishment from converting matter into plasma and absorbing it, taking in a small amount of energy normally through conversion of air into ionized gas, but that alone is insufficient to feed it, making supplementary feeding necessary. Despite the fact that it does not touch the ground where it walks and it is immune to the pull of the Earth's gravity, it seems content to follow the floor's surface for walkable areas, and is yet to be seen actually flying. Whether it chooses not to, or simply does not know that it can, is unknown at this time. Due to its physical makeup, SCP-334 constantly emits a level of EM radiation consistent with a class-redacted solar flare, causing interference in unshielded electronics within redacted meters and making film or electronic surveillance problematic. Radiation was within tolerable limits for SCP personnel. Okay, cool, great.
Oh, yeah, it's tolerable for the...
It'll only give you ball cancer.
Also, fuck, what was I gonna say? I had something I was gonna say about it. Use the thing to boil water.
No.
Energy.
Nuh-uh.
Power.
God,
Initial containment.
what's that?
You're onto initial containment.
No, I know. I'm stretching. Sorry. Just
Oh, okay. That's fine. Can you imagine all the super new and interesting ways the Foundation could use to boil water?
like the easiest method of generating power.
Yeah.
I mean, the hell, they probably just do that. Initial containment. SCP-334 was recovered redacted kilometers from redacted. Thanks. Redacted kilometers from a protected. You could have just said. Fine.
You could have literally. This is what I'm talking about. You could have literally just said, was recovered 5 kilometers from a
You could have said
projected meteor
recovered
impact site.
near redacted.
What is the
and then
point
redact
of
the
3 different redactions for that?
Fine. Town, fine. Exact kilometers away from the town, whatever. I don't care. It's single digits. You could have just said 3. Okay. From a redacted kilometers from a projected meteor impact site. Whether this was the subject's origin is still under investigation. Yeah. The Foundation was alerted to the subject's existence when a routine sweep of emergency services reports found a pattern of strange burns, trails, and redacted discovered in the woods, matching no publicly known source but consistent with data expunged. It's good. Full Foundation combat team was sent in to contain the suspected redacted, but found SCP-334 instead, far lesser threat. What the fuck did they think it was? A singularity? Utilizing a magnetic containment bottle and 2 live mice. They just had those, I assume. Subject was contained with an acceptable level of casualties.
This one does get a little bit of a pass because it's so.
I loved the absurdity of it, but I feel like it's not fully intentional. Like, I understand acceptable level of casualties, but just the idea of them quickly obtaining 2 live mice.
Utilizing a bottle and 2 mice, the subject was contained with an acceptable level of casualties.
Do you have any idea how annoying it is to try and catch any creature roughly the size of a mouse?
I mean, like a fox, even if you're baiting a fox, it's like most of the time those things would just run away from you.
Okay. Addendum. SCP-334 has a talent for escape, having escaped containment no fewer than, double digits number of times since initial retrieval, causing approximately redacted dollars in structural damage to site redacted, and the deaths of double digits personnel. Mostly caused by the aforementioned structural damage. You don't say. SCP-334 is wary of people, avoiding human contact if possible, yet prefers hiding in offices, barracks, and on-site quarters, where there is relatively little traffic and an abundance of small spaces. Despite his many escape events, SCP-334 has shown neither an obvious inclination towards leaving Site Redacted nor towards unprovoked attack and is not considered a direct threat. However, the structural damage caused has the potential to release SCP Redacted, and Redacted, my god, and on multiple separate occasions, and recapture should be considered a priority. Great.
At least it's probably not hard to find it.
That is true. It
You
just
follow
kind of
the
emits
burned little paw
radiation.
prints. You follow the burned little paw prints on the ground.
I mean, depending on what's going on in there, but yeah. Okay. Partial testing log. Results matching expectations removed. Available upon request. I do at least kind of appreciate that little note of it's a fox made of fire. If it touches shit, it burns.
It likes mice.
Holy
It's
shit.
the shape of a fox.
Write that down.
It
Write that down.
seems like a fox.
Anyways. Experiment log 334T-1 through 48. Jesus fuck. Okay. Fine.
I'm gonna
sure.
be here a while.
They caught this thing in 2010. Cool. Test subject. A selection of small prey animals ranging from mice to medium-sized rabbits. Okay, fine. I can kind of understand that. Subject stalked each one for varying lengths of times, apparently biding biding its time before pouncing. Each test subject supplemented into plasma, which was absorbed by SCP-334 through the mouth as it went through the motions of eating. Experiment log 334F-1. Test subject, a normal red fox, male. Results. Test subject displayed high levels of apprehension with loud barking and growling. SCP-334 appeared disinterested. Test halted after redacted minutes of no appreciable change in either's reaction. And the next log is the exact same, but it's a female fox, so it really doesn't give a shit.
What about the next one?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Experiment log. We've confirmed this thing is implied to be male. Anyway. Experiment log 334F-3. A red fox, female in heat. No surprise. Results, SCP-334 appeared to sniff the air for a moment while test subject displayed reactions similar to previous 2 tests. Then the data expunged. Researcher note. That was something I hope to never see again. Experiment log -1? What? Okay. I think they forgot the letter on those ones.
Yeah. I guess.
Test subject SCP-334. Note, for this test, SCP-334's cell was flooded with ionized gas identical to its own. Result, SCP-334 appeared curious at first, then agitated as the pressure of ion gas in the chamber started to rise. After 5 minutes, subject began to glow brightly and data expunged. Containment was re-established with SCP-334 apparently exhausted. Huh.
Wish I knew what happened there.
Experiment log 2. Test subject the same. Note, for this test, SCP-334 was subjected to a focused magnetic blade attempting to sever a section of its mass. Results, data expunged.
Can we move on to the next article already? This is genuine.
No.
What is the point of a fucking test log if you're not gonna show the result of the test?
Just scroll down. Note, further experimentation with force feeding or cutting SCP-334 is forbidden unless performed in a heavily shielded remote site. Log D1, subject D13, I'm just gonna say. 3 live mice in standard cage. Okay, cool. Note, D-Class was instructed to enter containment and feed SCP-334 after 1 day withholding food from the subject. Results, SCP-334 immediately leapt at the cage, incinerating it and the contents, as well as much of D13's arm and torso. They died instantly.
At least he died instantly. That's nice.
Well, SCP-334 ignored the body, focusing on the converted mice in cage. Researcher note. Well, it certainly thinks it's a fox and doesn't seem to notice or care that it can kill people just by getting too close.
That is a nice little detail. I do like that aspect of it. That it's
Experiment log E1 through redacted. Really? Fuck you. Okay. Note, this test was performed to determine SCP-334's environmental needs, if any. Results, containment made airtight and internal atmosphere removed. Subject showed no change from normal behavioral patterns. Containment was then heated to an excess of 500 degrees Celsius. Subject showed no change from normal behavior. Containment was... Okay, it showed no change to negative 100 degrees Celsius either. Got it. Containment was slowly pumped full of atmospheric gases in various combinations to a maximum pressure of 3 atmospheres. Subject became more energetic, consistent with behavior after being fed, and did not require supplemental feeding until the next day. Research note. It can survive in a vacuum or on the surface of Venus, and it doesn't need any supplemental food in high pressure. This and other data suggests data expunge. Why?
If it's one thing to leave it up to the reader's imagination. It's another thing to not even have an answer yourself and just leave it blank and just think it's leaving it up. No, that's just not what this is. This is just, I didn't want to think about what any of these things would actually fucking do.
You could have, because the conclusion I get from that is that it just is taking on the behavior of a fox. It is just a sentient
Literally,
ball of
all
plasma.
of this provided nearly no new information.
I don't
at all.
Half
Half of the article is just
se,
fucking pointless
yeah,
because they just
it didn't
expunge.
tell me anything.
We learned that it tries to fuck foxes in heat, I guess.
Female foxes in heat helix.
And that if it's hungry, it'll jump from ice and kill people, even if that's unintentional.
Accidentally.
But every, like, interesting tidbit, like, oh, what happens if they try to cut it? Blanked out. What happens if we flood the room with ionized... Just blanked out. Any interesting thing is just blank.
Urge.
Oh,
no.
You just missed the one about foxes.
100
And
names.
go back.
It
Hang on,
wasn't
go back.
very good, unfortunately. I'm sorry to say.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, we give you a
It's-
summary.
okay.
It's a fox.
I like.
It's a bunch of like superheated gas in the shape of a fox that acts like a fox. And that's about it.
Yeah. It emits an assload of EM radiation. It's if someone is within like touch range of it, they will basically just sublimate. You know, the works.
But yeah, but like the main problem with it was literally every
How it was
interesting
written.
little tidbit was redacted again.
Not as bad as the one that was immediately before it, though. Jesus, fuck.
Yeah, we said that the one before it had the word 333 99 times in the article.
I think that article was about as big as this one is, and it had 93 instances of using the word SCP-333. This one has 22.
To be fair,
Granted, a lot of this page is also could effectively just be a long list with commas as opposed to.
like this is a lot more reasonable. It's still
Anyway.
ridiculous. Alright, would you like to take this one too, since most of it is named?
Yeah, sure.
Fine to skip over most of this. Like,
No, fuck you. I'm reading all of this.
okay, cool.
Item number SCP-335, Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-335 is to be kept in a secure location to prevent tampering.
Yeah?
Thanks.
Is it?
Are you sure?
Oh, wow. The SCP
Are you sure? You know what?
is
You're
going
right.
to be put in a the SCP guys, we're putting it in a box, guys. Fuck.
Yeah, hey, Dr. Bright, could you keep this in your fucking desk drawer for me real quick? I just don't want to have to be in charge of this for a week.
You'll never guess
Thanks.
it, chat. SCP-335 is to be kept in a secure location to prevent tampering. Wow!
It's a safe class. You cannot be that vague. Fine. Okay. Just.
I mean, to be
Breathe.
fair, that's probably all it needs.
It is.
Does it make
It's
sense
just,
for them to
it
give
feel-
elaborate shit for something that doesn't need it? But still, like, oh, come on. The box...
I think we're just traumatized from the last two articles.
Yeah.
Let's not be too harsh on this yet. Description. SCP-335 is a set of 150 3.5-inch floppy disks discovered in a cardboard box found in the attic of former Agent Redacted shortly after her termination. Each disk is individually numbered in handwritten permanent marker. Disks are to be referred to by their number, SCP-335-001-2, etc. Each disk has also been labeled with a human name and the same writing as the numbering. 118 are male names and 30 are female. There is some speculation as to whether SCP-335-11, Jackie, is meant to be male or female. The names have no identified pattern. Initial examinations suggested that all 150 disks were blank, and their capacity all read as 0 megabytes. Dr. Redacted determined that the disks were ordinary and had them archived with the rest of former Agent Redacted's possessions. It was not until Agent Redacted suggested the unlikelihood of Agent Redacted keeping a box of floppy disks in her attic among the other contraband that Dr. Redacted agreed to have the disks examined again. It was determined that Dr. Redacted's original floppy disk drive has been defective, and a different computer was brought in. Wow.
That's an insane fuck up for a literal doctor at the Foundation.
Yeah, I guess Old technology will fucking do that.
But I also really like that, like, they were like, oh, this isn't anomalous. And then somebody's like, well, it doesn't make sense for it to not be anomalous. What the fuck is this otherwise?
Did you check your fucking disk reader? Oh,
this
shit, it
doesn't make
has been
sense.
acting up. I like the idea that they've potentially thought of this like a week later. It's like, fuck! All 150 disks appear to have an infinite amount of storage space available. Okay.
What?
Oh man, hey, Abel, you got some data to transcribe over here. Anyway, it is unknown whether the disk space is truly unlimited or simply too large to measure. Regardless, the space is effectively infinite. When SCP-335-1 is inserted into Dr. Redacted's computer, the contents of a large pornographic website were the first data found on the disk. Further investigation by Agent Redacted showed that all the contents of SCP-335-001 are of a pornographic nature.
Of course. Also, you got a little
Note
quiet
from-
for some reason.
Sorry. Note from Dr. Redacted. I believe I know where all our bandwidth was going at night. Agent Redacted's computer privileges should be limited until he either finds a girlfriend or learns some self-control.
Oh my god.
God damn it. The Paleolithic era gooning. Christ.
I like this article. This is really funny so far.
Further investigation revealed that SCP-335-001 through 12 contained pornographic material. Jesus Christ, man! However, upon discovering the entire contents of Wikipedia on SCP-335-13, the actual nature of SCP-335 was uncovered. SCP-335 contains the entire contents of the internet stored within its infinite storage space. It appears to have some sort of organizational system with similar sites grouped together on the same disk. Experiments 335-007A showed that when content on the internet is changed, the content on the corresponding disk changes to match. Precisely how this occurs is unknown. It is uncertain what would happen if content on the disk were changed, as all 150 disks seem to be locked in read-only format. We'll just unclick the read-only format, idiot.
I also love that the first discs, the first 12, were all dedicated.
The first
for
12. A bountiful source of human knowledge. Oh. Addendum. Agent Redacted has proposed on numerous occasions that an experiment be conducted where a disk is destroyed. Dr. Redacted, as well as Redacted, I assume that's an 05 or something, agree that this could potentially have disastrous effects on a large portion of the internet and could draw unwanted attention to the Foundation. Such an experiment is not to be attempted under any circumstances. Addendum. The following is a listing of all 150 names written on the disks in their numerical order. No pattern has yet been identified in the names. Ah, fuck me. Okay. I'm not reading the numbers, they go in sequential order.
No, you have to.
Johnny, Carl, Robert, William, Benjamin, Patrick, Blake, Keith, Michael, Daryl, Jackie, Daniel, Jimbo, Cynthia, Valerie, Ozzy, Wayne, Paul, Frank, Sandra, James, Mark, Jordan, Isabella, Eugene, Matthew, Sean, Heath, Janice, Donald, Bradley, Ryan, Emily, Francis. Scroll down, bitch. Theodore, Craig, Sharon, Jessica, Xavier, Parson, Heather, Jay, Kelly, Oscar, Brian, Calvin, Kenneth, Stanley, Wall, Helen, Martin, Hubert, Joe. The letter E in this name is backwards, reasoning unknown. Bartholomew, Jerry, Leroy, Stephen, Roger, Bill, Susan, Lewis, Aaron, Leopold, Gordon, Kimberly, Dale, Julie, Randy, Vladimir, Fred, Leon, Marcus, Ernest, Mario, Abel, Wesley, Howard, Mickey, Sarah, Angelica. His name appears to be misspelled, unknown if this was intentional. Tony, Andrew, Dorothy, Stephen, Clarence, Homer, Nathan, Maximilian, Joshua, Ralph, Rodney, Bruce, Eve, Philip, Alexander, Chad, Ruth. Label is torn. No name except for the letter G. Gary, Ronald, Kyle, Antonio, Elizabeth, Isaac, Dennis, Chris, Anthony, Frodo, Lawrence, Victor, Brenda, Albert, Russell, Curtis, Pamela, Samuel, Brandon. Note the lowercase first letter. Reasons unknown. Michelle, Jesus or Jesus, Walter. Russian name translates to Boris. Alright, cool. Melissa, Justin, Jeffrey, Gerald, Anna, Vincent, Lloyd, Nicole, Alan, Frank, Jacob, Patricia, Joel, Harold, Derek, Amy, Douglas, Lenny, Rebecca, Scott, Glenn, Henry, Carlos, Mary, Normal, Eric, Dave. Japanese name translates to Hajime. Note from Dr. Redacted. Just some points of interest here. Discs 1 through 12 apparently contain all of the pornography on the internet. With all that there is, I can see why whoever made these got the porn out of the way first. Discs 85, 86, and 101 contain image hosting sites such as Image Shack and PhotoBucket. MySpace is also on Disc 85. Disc 30 seems to contain the Google homepage and nothing else. The rest of Google's website seems to be scattered all over the place. I've only found a few parts. Disc 119 has emoticons. Millions and millions of emoticons. Forums, instant messengers, and from other places. After looking long and hard, I have found that Redacted can be found on Disc 76. I find it very disturbing that this disc has the same name as SCP-76. That's kind of fun. Notes from Agent Redacted. SCP-335-85 and 58 are the same name, spelled differently. The name Ryan is used on both SCP-335-32 and 33. S-28 is named Heath, and that one actor that OD'd on pills, he died at age 28. Vladimir Lenin was born in 1870, and 70 is named Vladimir. The name on 150 is Japanese and roughly means beginning. I'm assuming that SCP-120, or 335-120, is the Spanish name Jesus and not the biblical guy, but I guess you never know. And I agree with Dr. Redacted that it's pretty disturbing that SCP-335-76 has the same name as SCP-76.
I like this one.
Alright.
This is genuinely a candidate for my favorite for today.
I mean, the marching band.
Marching band was good, but I think this one takes the cake for me.
Is it because I read out all 150 names?
No, it's the porn. I just love the way it gave a little story in the discovery of this about it was the deceased guy's house. They found it to be non-anonymous.
God,
and they were like, wait, no, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Try it again. This is way too weird.
It does humanize them to a acceptable level. I'm not getting their fucking social security numbers or anything, but I'm also fucking stop. Stop jacking off. Please.
Gooning.
Is that how the fucking
Junior.
female agent died, and he had to take up the mantle?
Oh my god, Junior.
Okay, I'm tapping out now. Back to you.
Yeah, that's fair. I want to pick up Julia.
Apologies. I said a stupid thing, so I had to stick to it.
I'm petting Kippy right now.
Wow. Rich.
Item number SCP-336.
Everybody.
Object class Euclid. How do I sound?
You sound fine.
Very cool. Come a little farther away and stretched out with petting cat.
It's not too quiet.
Okay. Special containment procedures. SCP-336 is to be provided living quarters 6 meters by 6 meters in size, maintained regularly. This maintenance, as well as all other tasks requiring direct contact with SCP-333. Oh my god, 333 is still sticking with me. Oh, the pain. SCP-336 are to be carried out exclusively by female personnel. SCP-336 may make requests for furnishing or items. However, approval of these requests is contingent on SCP-336's cooperation with personnel and subject to the project's head researcher's approval. Requests for access to anomalous or dangerous items are to be denied. Well, yeah.
Oh shit.
A voice modulator device fitted over SCP-336's mouth is to be checked and maintained by Level 0 personnel weekly. The modulator may be unlocked with a 6-digit combination provided to personnel Level 2 and higher for the purpose of testing SCP-336. In the event of the device's failure or unintended deactivation, local lockdown procedures are to be respected until SCP-333 or 336 has been isolated. Description: SCP-336 appears to be a pale-skinned human female of otherwise Arabic or Middle Eastern descent in its late 20s. SCP-336 is it's 5 foot 8 inches in height and weighs 68 kilograms. As of its last physical, as
of its last physical.
Yeah, as of its last physical. Subject requires no sleep or sustenance and does not appear to be affected by aging or sickness of any nature. The object is anatomically human with the exception of dermal irregularities along the thighs and calves, which appear structurally similar to reptilian scales. SCP-336 behaves impassively and detached with regards to human beings and demonstrates highly introverted behavior. Hold on, let me sit up. Junior's so confused right now because I'm moving around. Wait, where was I? Okay. The subject is highly intelligent and analytical, having scored in the 95th percentile or above in most intelligence tests. A noticeable improvement in attitude is observed when SCP-336 uses a mirror, as the subject has been noted to be highly narcissistic and has a tendency to spend long periods of time admiring its reflection. Human subjects directly exposed to the uninstructed vocalizations of SCP-336 experience one of two effects depending on the presence of a Y chromosome in the subject's genome. Subjects lacking a Y chromosome and possessing otherwise healthy reproductive systems will experience inexplicable infertility. The duration of this infertility varies, but is directly proportional to the length of exposure. Subjects with a Y chromosome experience a separate anomaly that presents itself after 2 to 3 hours of exposure to SCP-336's voice. During an affected subject's next regular sleep cycle, he will instead enter a coma 6 to 8 hours in duration in place of normal rest. Over the course of this coma, approximately 100 grams of non-essential tissue, typically from the subject's rib cage, will separate from the subject seamlessly and inexplicably increase in mass, transforming into a full-grown instance of SCP-336-1 before the subject awakens. Instances of 336-1 are various adult female organisms formed from disparate anatomical elements, selected seemingly at random from 2 or more genetically unrelated vertebrae. My eyes are like geeking out on me right now, sorry. Junior wants out of my room. Why does my eye feel so weird? Okay. 90% of instances incorporate elements from 2 or more of the following species: Homo sapiens, Bonelli's eagle, sand viper, Asiatic lion, aurochs, extinct, Mongolian wild horse, and an unidentified subspecies of wild goat. Current findings suggest that the genetic makeup of the affected subject directly correlates with the composition of the corresponding instance. Research is ongoing. The majority of these hybrids are not anatomically viable and typically expire within 2 weeks. Surviving instances are irrationally violent and demonstrate no evidence of higher intelligence. SCP-336 has demonstrated mild disdain for instances of -1, and has been reluctant to discuss both the organisms and the means of their creation. As SCP-336 has been otherwise cooperative with Foundation personnel, the reason for this behavior is unknown. Addendum -1. Recent experimentation has identified an irregularity in the object's effects on subjects whose Y chromosomes exhibit the Cohen modal haplotype. Instances of -1 formed from such subjects are exclusively Homo sapiens with no hybridized anatomy. Additionally, these instances demonstrate intelligence and limited innate knowledge, including fluent speech in the subject's native language. 2 of these instances have been retained for long-term study.
No idea what the fucking Cohen, whatever the hell, means, but neat, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know why it just
think this
induces
one's neat.
infertility.
I would have liked to see more information about the 2, the 2 intelligent ones.
Creatures.
I would have liked to see a bit more about them.
It has the tag rewrite.
Yeah. I feel like a
Let's
lot
see.
of the early ones probably do.
Oh, it was. Oh, this is a rewrite potentially. Oh, it was touched up in 24. It's probably not getting touched up again.
Who knows? Oh, hair.
Oh.
Ugh, 2 incidents. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to compose myself. Give me a moment. Item number SCP-337. Object class Euclid. Special containment procedures. I haven't had my phone open for a minute. Sometimes I set it
Good work.
aside and forget about it. There we go. Special containment procedures. SCP-337 is to be kept within a steel reinforced 0.5 meter thick polished cement containment chamber at all times. Chamber walls must be inspected weekly for cracks and resealed as needed. Access will only be available via 2-stage vaulted steel door system with a seal tolerance not to exceed 100 I don't know what that is. Antechamber between the doors is to be fitted with multiple remote operated liquid propellant flamethrowers.
Wow.
Both chambers are to be externally monitored with wireless security cameras. Damage or repositioning of cameras should be reported immediately. A self-contained water recycling shower system will be positioned at the far end of the internal chamber. The system's water supply and filters are to be changed on a monthly basis. Do I have fucking Tums? I have goddamn heartburn and it's really fucking me up. I think I ran out, but I'm not sure if I ran out or I just moved the bottle somewhere. I know I was low, but I don't think I actually finished my Tums. Damn it. Oh yeah, they're behind my computer monitor. I found them. There are literally 4 left. Give me just a moment.
Yep.
Okay. Both chambers are to be externally monitored with wireless security cameras. Damage or repositioning of the cameras should be reported immediately. A self-contained water recycling shower system will be positioned at the far end of the internal chamber. The system's water supply and filters are to be changed on a monthly basis. Personnel assigned to SCP-337 must maintain all head and body hair at no longer than 4 centimeters and will be submit to regular full-body inspection to ensure compliance. Uh, any personnel entering the chamber must be escorted by 2 guards armed with portable flamethrowers. Following Incident A, Class D personnel involved in testing must be strapped into a restraining gurney and sedated prior to entry. Oh, good. Good, glad even.
Probably for the best.
Once per week, 1D class personnel will be stripped of hair measuring longer than 5 centimeters using the Solomon technique. What the fuck is the Solomon technique?
What the fuck? Oh, that's like an actual thing. Oh, never mind.
I mean, this is unrelated. That's like a birth thing.
Okay, cool.
What?
It's laser surgery. Got it.
Yeah. An attendant must immediately deliver the hair into the chamber and permit the object to feed. During this time, the attendant will sweep the floor clean of shedding using a standard broom and dustpan. Following Incident-C, vacuum cleaners are not permitted for use within 15 meters of SCP-337 containment unless specifically authorized. Did they almost suck up the entity?
Whoopsie daisy.
I can imagine like a moving mass of hair just like kind of screaming as it's like being sucked into a vacuum. Description: SCP-337 is a large conglomeration of human hair weighing approximately 60 kilograms at last measure. The object's shape and dimensions are tremendously variable. SCP-337 is fully animate, capable of a wide range of locomotion, and can exert force in excess of 18 kilonewtons?
You think so?
Okay. It also seems to possess some level of sentience, although attempts at communication have thus far met with limited success. See Incident-B. The object is able to manipulate any hair directly connected to its central mass, with precision down to the individual strand. Ugh. The method by which SCP-337 mobilizes its components is still under investigation. Analysis of filaments attached to the object has shown them to be identical to regular human hair, and strands that are periodically shed from the object are similarly normal, aside from being drained of pigmentation. Filaments display typical tensile strength and can be easily damaged by fire, blades, or consumer-grade chemical clog remover. Although it displays no obvious sensory organs, SCP-337 is highly aware of its surroundings and may even possess perceptive abilities exceeding those of humans. For the most part, these senses are turned towards detecting and acquiring its principal form of sustenance: fresh human hair.
Great.
When a human being with any hair measuring longer than 5 centimeters comes within approximately 30 meters of SCP-337, it enters what can be described as a predatory state, rapidly braiding together several dense tendrils of hair in the direction of its prey. The object's range of perception seems to be unhindered by the walls of its containment chamber. The object will then close in on its target at great speed, attempting to overtake and envelop it. When successful, SCP-337 restrains the subject's limbs and begins to harvest all hair of sufficient length from the body. Hair is painlessly removed from the dermis at the base, root included, and is immediately incorporated into the object's mass via knotting or weaving. Patterns of bruising, bleeding, and sebaceous eruption on the subject's following feeding suggest follicles are partially loosened from the inner sheath prior to extraction. This appears to sometimes accelerate hair regrowth, even in regions where it is typically stunted. To date, researchers have failed to replicate this effect artificially. While SCP-337 was found in a filthy state at time of recovery, see addendum, it has since demonstrated a preference for cleanliness. Not long after initial containment, the object managed to escape its temporary enclosure through a narrow 2 cm diameter wiring duct. It was discovered on site several hours later in the 4th floor women's washroom, where it emerged from a drain and consumed the hair of 2 showering researchers. A security team arrived shortly thereafter to find SCP-337 under a running shower tap, lathering itself with shampoo left behind by the women. Once containment was re-established, SCP-337's enclosure was fitted with its present bathing accommodations and a supply of hair conditioning product. The object's rate of shedding has since decreased dramatically. I'm glad they gave it a shower.
It's probably for the best.
I mean, if it likes it, sure. Note, SCP-337 may seem to prefer live feedings, but it will still readily consume hair that has already been removed from a human host, provided the follicle is intact and the root has only been detached for a few minutes. We've established a means of accomplishing this extraction just as effectively, if not as painlessly, as the object's method. To limit risk of cross-contamination, Class D personnel should only be exposed to SCP-337 for approved testing purposes. Requests by personnel to be deliberately exposed for feeding are preemptively denied. Damn.
Damn.
Addendum. SCP-337 has demonstrated the ability to grow well beyond its present mass through the accumulation of additional hair. It was discovered in the plumbing system of a large nursing home facility in Redacted, Pennsylvania in Redacted. After Agent Redacted noticed a story entitled Sewer Snakes Scalp Senior Citizens in a Local Newspaper. Gross. A team was dispatched to investigate under the guise of a fumigation contracting company. After evacuating residents to another facility, agents cut off all water and sewage lines in the building, monitoring sink and shower drains for any sign of the object. When a portion of SCP-337 finally emerged, it attempted to couple with Agent Redacted's cranium, only to be intercepted by its weapons being... No, sorry, let me try that one for the top. Only to be intercepted by his weapon's bayonet.
Incredible.
The tendril immediately retracted into the drain, after which time the object was not sighted again for more than 45 minutes. Coordinated deployment of chemical clog remover forced the object to exit through the pipes in the facility's basement-level utility room, where several agents were on hand to apprehend it with portable flamethrowers. However, the agents were unprepared for the sheer size of the object, which quickly filled the lower level of the building. In the confusion, a sizable portion of SCP-337 was ignited. The resulting blaze quickly spread throughout the facility. Most on the upper floors were able to flee the structure before it collapsed, but redacted agents did not escape in time. SCP-337 managed to extricate its remaining mass through the building's ventilation system, shedding burning components as it went. When it finally amassed in the facility's parking lot, it was estimated to be over redacted feet tall. Surviving members of the intervention team converged around the object and successfully corralled it within the lot using flame propellant until support arrived. By the time SCP-337 was contained, it had lost more than 90% of its original mass. The fire and subsequent disruption of the nursing home was officially blamed on faulty wiring, and damages were settled out of court. Displaced residents were transferred to a Foundation-operated nursing facility, where amnesiacs were administered as required and redacted without incident. Incident A. Personnel involved, Dr. Solomon. Maybe that's why it was called the Solomon technique, just because he made it.
No, it couldn't be.
And a D-28. Date redacted. Description. 10:26 a.m. Dr. Solomon and two guards enter antechamber of SCP-337 containment area, escorting D-28 for scheduled testing. D-28 hands and ankles are cuffed. He is moderately uncooperative, pleading not to be taken into the chamber. Rumors of a haircut monster are widespread among Class D personnel on site.
Incredible.
10:27 a.m. Dr. Solomon assures D-28 that he is completely safe. She firmly reminds him that his cooperation is beneficial to them both. 10:29 a.m. All personnel enter inner chamber. SCP-337 has already extended several tendrils in direction of D-28. D-28 shouts multiple expletives, attempts to move toward exit, is restrained. 10:30 a.m. SCP-337 closes in on D-28. D-28 produces a small pair of shears that had previously been hidden in his waistband. D-28, still cuffed, rests free from guards and lunges at 337 screaming. 10:30 a.m. D28 thrusts shears into SCP-337, managing to sever one of the object's tendrils. SCP-337 recoils as if in pain. 10:30 a.m. SCP-337 envelops D28. Dr. Solomon shouts something unintelligible to guards. A muffled cry is heard, followed by a wet-sounding thump. 10:31 a.m. Guards engage pilot lights of flamethrowers. SCP-337 retreats, disentangling itself from host. D28 collapses to the ground, body is hairless, shears are buried up into the handle in center of D28's forehead. Dense hair later discovered in nostrils, trachea, lungs, redacted. 10:32 a.m. Personnel exit containment chamber with corpse. Okay, God, this is good. That's a good little like extra log.
Yeah.
Because like up until now, it hasn't really mentioned that it's been entirely friendly up until now. Painlessly removes hair, doesn't harm the subject. But then, like, we get to the testing log and we find out, well, not the testing log, it was just an incident, but same thing. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, when it's attacked, it will fight back. It doesn't just take that shit. And I like that. That is good.
He's a hairy little guy.
Personnel involved, Dr. Redacted. Date redacted. Description, 4:57 p.m. Dr. Redacted and 2 guards enter antechamber of 337 containment area. No D-class personnel are present. Object has refused feeding for 2 consecutive weeks. 337's former handler, Dr. Solomon, was killed 1 month prior in an unrelated incident. 4:58 p.m. All personnel enter inner chamber. SCP-337 is spread out in a loose pile in center of room, braiding and unbraiding 3 tendrils. Dr. Redacted approaches subject. 4:59 p.m. Dr. Redacted extends a large bottle of Redacted brand herbal shampoo toward 337. 337 stops braiding and retracts tendrils into itself. 5 p.m. A thick, bulb-shaped extrusion of hair emerges at a 45-degree angle from the top of SCP-337. Hair contorts and intertwines on the bulb until detail begins to emerge. 5:01 p.m. Dr. Redacted drops a bottle. SCP-337 has produced a crude but recognizable likeness of the late Dr. Solomon. Oh!
Oh.
5:01 p.m. Dr. Redacted stumbles back from the object. Both guards rush to support him. SCP-337 turns to follow Redacted so that the head formation continues to face him. The researcher appears severely distraught. She's gone, okay? She's gone. Guards attempt to usher Dr. Redacted to the exit. Redacted grabs the handle portion of a guard's flamethrower and directs it at SCP-337. 5:02 p.m. Nearest guard punches Dr. Redacted in the jaw. He crumples, guards restrain the researcher and drag him to the exit. SCP-337 remains still, continuing to direct the head formation towards Redacted. 5:03 p.m. All personnel exit containment chamber. The head retracts back into SCP-337, dissolving again into shapeless hair. After a moment, it retrieves the shampoo bottle from the floor and begins to lather itself. Note, this incident is troublesome for a number of reasons. There was no indication that Dr. Redacted was in any way psychically affected by SCP-337, as some have proposed. The man had recently lost a close colleague, and psychiatric analysis after the incident revealed he was much more bereaved about it than he let on. Nevertheless, his reaction to the object's behavior seems illogically severe. It also squandered our first and so far only opportunity to engage in communication with the object. We are fortunate that SCP-337 returned to its former behavior patterns not long after the incident. For now, personnel assigned to SCP-337 should undergo periodic psychological evaluation until we know more. I also recommend rotating handlers for the object on a regular basis so that no one becomes too attached. I like this thing. This thing is cool.
Hairy little guy.
It's a funny little hair guy. I love him. I love him. Do you think the inspiration came after like one of the author like got a haircut and they saw the pile of hair on the floor?
Yes.
Like 100%.
After a particularly long time of not getting their haircut.
Is it your turn now?
No. Give me just a moment. Alright, let me sit back up. Alright. Item number SCP-338, Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-338 is to be activated and constantly monitored at all times. This broadcast recorded for later analysis. Every 10 minutes, the channel is to be changed, alternating between the broadcast at 89.1 MHz, 100.2 MHz, 104.9 MHz, and 107.9 MHz. If at any time SCP-338 does not receive a broadcast on one of these frequencies, Dr. Redacted is to be immediately notified and the entire frequency band is to be scanned to determine the status of the remaining broadcasts. Only personnel with level 3 clearance or greater are allowed to listen to, interpret, or analyze data resulting from recordings of SCP-338. No personnel are allowed to spend more than 100 cumulative hours interpreting the broadcast at frequency 107.9 MHz. Any personnel that has reached the maximum number of hours of exposure is to be administered a Class C amnestic and returned to the regular workforce as appropriate. All personnel working on data from the broadcast at 107.9 MHz are to be searched before leaving the Data Analysis Center. Any and all storage devices are to be confiscated and the personnel involved terminated in order to prevent the possibility of redacted occurring in this reality. Ooh, okay. Description. SCP-338 is a portable crank and battery-powered survival radio manufactured by Redacted Inc. Disassembly reveals no anomalies compared to similar radios, with the exception of 3 small, roughly a millimeter in diameter, drops of solder on the receiver circuitry. Replicating this defect on other models does not result in an effect similar to SCP-338. Accepting the anomalous properties described below, SCP-338 functions identically to similar models manufactured by Redacted Inc. SCP-338 is capable of receiving anomalous broadcasts signals on 11 different frequencies. These broadcasts maintain the same signal strength no matter the physical location of SCP-338. Each broadcast appears to originate from a greatly different reality. With the exception of the one at 100.2 MHz, all broadcasts appear to be live and transmitted at the same date and time that they are received by SCP-338, as indicated by references to natural known disasters. Broadcast frequencies and a brief description of their general contents are as follows. Alright. So it goes frequency, then contents, then primary languages. 88.7 MHz plays orchestral music, unknown pieces, and this is in Tagalog, whatever the hell that is. 89.1 MHz is a talk radio, primarily focused on politics and sports, French, and Mandarin. 91.8 MHz, religious hymns and chants, primarily Hindu and Urdu, not surprised. 84.5 MHz, rap and Tejano music, pieces unknown, mixture of English and Zuni. I've never heard of that language. 87 MHz, heavy static, faint voices heard, contents unknown, language unknown. 99.3 MHz, smooth jazz, pieces unknown, heavily distorted Korean. 100.2 MHz is an emergency broadcast in fucking Latin. Okay, that's definitely not demonic. 101.7 MHz is electronic dance music, pieces unknown and identified languages. Unsurprised. It's probably just caramel dancing. It's fine. 103.4 MHz, minor static, country music, ew. Pieces unknown, Swahili. Okay. 104.9 MHz is education programs in Arabic. 107.9 MHz is redacted both in contents and language. Lovely.
Huge.
Although the music broadcasts are interesting from a cultural viewpoint, the talk-based broadcasts are the primary focus of analysis. The broadcast at 89.1 MHz references political scenarios extremely similar to those found in the United States, but describe actions and events 4 to 6 weeks before they occur in the Foundation's reality. Although the political situation appears analogous, all names and person of people and places are different, mostly indicating a French or Mandarin origin. The broadcast at 100.2 MHz is apparently a looped recording of survival instructions, rendezvous locations, and status updates about the Great War, and seems to describe an EK-class scenario caused by the release of SCP-1427. The contents are changed and updated sporadically, ranging from twice daily to once every 3 weeks. The broadcast at 104.9 MHz is a mixture of educational programs suitable for university-level classes, covering topics including electronics, mathematics, biology, art history, literature, and star building. What? Many of the science topics covered indicate a technological base significantly different from and possibly more advanced than that currently possessed by the Foundation. The broadcast at 107.9 MHz, data expunged, which constitutes a major security breach in the event of redacted. Although the physical modifications necessary to redacted are not readily available, data expunge is in no more than 4 years. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Fine. I understand. It's for the
A bit more
redacted.
about this one, but at least we got something on the rest of it. It wasn't literally everything is expunged.
I think it works in this case because it was a gradual build up to, that one's
This is
that one's
implied to be like
to
something really dangerous to even like know about.
The one in Arabic is implied that it's more technologically advanced, and then that one's just like, oh, things are bad.
Yeah, like this I can somewhat get past it being redacted because it's very much implied to be like very dangerous and very, very big deal. But in other articles, it'll be like the fox redacted the mouse, and it's like, what could possibly be so bad that the fox could have done to the mouse that it deserved a redaction? We have to redact world-ending, like anomalous information, and then the fox kills the mouse. What? I hate when articles overdo the redactions. Sorry, what were you saying?
I'm gonna myself.
I see.
Anyways.
Alright, that one. Okay, this is also pretty short.
Yeah, I'll take this one too. Oh, it's a Keter class. Okay.
No.
Wake the fuck up.
No, no.
Oh, he's gonna be for stream, guys. Someone's an EP bitch.
We're almost 2 hours in.
Yeah. Anyways, item number SCP-339, object class Keter. Special containment procedures. SCP-339 is contained at Site 49. The room containing SCP-339 is 5 by 5 by 5 meters and soundproof. SCP-339 is sealed in a soundproofed container on a 1.5 meter pedestal in the center of the room. The room is only accessible through an outer soundproofed airlock. Okay. All personnel entering SCP-339's holding room for maintenance must maintain absolute silence and wear noise-reducing foam-lined boots available in the airlock. Regular maintenance of SCP-339 is to occur on the 15th of every month and consists of replacing the degraded soundproof container with a new one. Okay. No one is to enter SCP-339's holding room for any reason other than maintenance. Description. SCP-339 is a group of tendrils extending off of a central mass. It is approximately 50 centimeters from tip to tip, although this is variable. It appears to be made out of weathered copper, but shows a much higher level of durability and independent mobility. Individual tendrils constantly move as though underwater, continually grinding on the sides of any containment, silently pulverizing it at a gradual but constant rate. Because of this, the soundproofed box it is currently contained in must be replaced at regular intervals. Any noise above 14 decibels will cause SCP-339 to become hostile. During this noise, and for a length of time equal to 5 times the duration of the noise, any movement within visual range will result in the immediate reaction of SCP-339. SCP-339 will expand by extruding tendrils at an extremely high rate and snaring any moving organisms or objects designated targets. Once the movement has been Once movement has been restricted, SCP-339's tendrils begin to vibrate at rapidly increasing oscillations until the target is rendered incapable of movement. Note that once a target is ensnared, SCP-339 appears to be able to determine when the target truly becomes incapable of movement, rather than merely when it stops moving. SCP-339 will then return to its base shape and size. At this point, secretions of blood and a slurry of bone and muscle tissue from the central mass are to be expected. All movements of SCP-339 are completely silent, even at very high oscillations that should produce noise. History. SCP-339 was recovered in Iran in 1953 during Operation Ajax on the part of the Iranian military. It was found in one of Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh's private collections. After the deaths of the Iranian soldiers sent to secure this collection, the Foundation was altered and took control. SCP-339 was found in a velvet-draped room on a pedestal. A quote from the Persian poet Sadi was engraved on the pedestal in Persian. "Nothing is so good for an ignorant man as silence, and if he was sensible of this, he would not be ignorant." Huh. Okay.
That was like mildly interesting.
It's neat. I feel
But
like
I
I wish there was
history of
more. I'm surprised they were so explicit with like when they found it. That's a luxury.
Yeah.
1950s in Iran. They gave a name of a politician from that era. Holy shit. Anyway.
Oh.
Alright,
Item
you know what?
number.
I'm taking this one solely because I see the word Baltimore.
Fair enough, I'll allow it.
Fuck you, Baltimore. Item number SCP-340, Opter Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-340-1-2-4 and -5 are to be communally
There was no
housed in a
-2
10.
there.
What?
There was no -2 there.
No.
You said -2.
Did I? Whatever. Fuck it. 1, 3, 4, and 5.
Just
Even if I
Just why? Why is there no 2?
just shut up. I don't need to think about it more. It's fine. It was a verbal fuck up. Anyway.
No, that's not what I'm making fun of. I'm making fun of the fact that it's 1, 3, 4, 5, not like where
Maybe
did the
2
go?
comes up later. Who knows? Anyway, housed in a 10 by 10 by 2.5 meter tank, with the water temperature maintained between 25 and 30 degrees Celsius. Antidepressants and broad-spectrum antibiotics are to be administered intravenously every 12 hours. Medicinal compounds may not be added to the standard nutritive paste without approval. All waste products must be properly sterilized. Any personnel who aspirate water from the containment tank must report to medical staff immediately. Description. SCP-340 is produced by a human-specific virus which preferentially colonizes the nasal cavities. The virus cannot be identified according to the Baltimore classification scheme, leading Foundation researchers to believe it was engineered by parties as yet unidentified. The presence of genes from both HIV and the SARS coronavirus supports this hypothesis. And an incubation period with a mean duration of 3 days occurs. An incubation period with a mean duration of 3 days occurs once initial exposure to the virus. Influenza-like symptoms will then develop and will persist for a mean of 7 days before clearing up. An increased production of mucus has been observed in all known cases and will persist after other symptoms have ceased. Virulence is highest during the first 5 days of infection, but viral particles have been detected up to a month after exposure in Foundation trials. Anytime after infection, a high blood concentration of carbon dioxide will trigger production of SCP-340. When initially produced, SCP-340 is a jelly-like mucus which exudes to cover the lower half of the face, including the nose and mouth. SCP-340 is mucus? Whatever. Fuck it. In mucus form will undergo a catalytic reaction when immersed in water and will set into a bioplastic membrane. The chemical composition of the bioplastic facilitates the data expunge process, although it causes SCP-340 to degrade. The process allows the host to breathe underwater. Ha. The membrane is flexible and does not inhibit the host's facial movements. Any tears or holes which develop due to mechanical stress or SCP-340 degradation will be regenerated within 30 seconds due to constant production of SCP-340. Virulence is drastically reduced in this stage, but viral particles have been detected in water samples contaminated by SCP-340. Environmental contact may still spread the infection. Helix if you would. When SCP-340 is exposed to air, it drives into a chitinous substance similar to crustacean shells. The water vapor trapped inside an SCP-340 sealed respiratory system is sufficient to prevent premature hardening. The hardening process also destroys its ability to data expunge, and loss of function is irreversible after approximately 2 minutes exposed to air. Once fully hardened, SCP-340 is impossible to remove without inflicting major tissue damage. It is harder than any generally known organic substance. The standard tungsten carbide drill bit required more than 15 minutes of constant use to drill a hole through 5 millimeters of dried SCP-340. Holy shit!
Ugh.
Research is ongoing into methods of the in vitro culture and harvest of SCP-340 for use in industrial applications. Yeah, I guess that it would be a decent use for it, minus the potential ethical concerns. Addendum 340-1. Circumstances of retrieval. On 2000, whenever the fuck, die. 12 students at a boarding school in redacted United States began to produce SCP-340 during a swimming competition. 9 died before a Foundation containment team could be dispatched to the site. 5 suffocated when attempts to clear airways of hardened SCP-340 failed. 2 suffocated after attempts to open alternative airways induced hardening of air-exposed SCP-340 in the trachea, and 2 died from dehydration. Upon arrival, the Foundation containment team quarantined the school until the infection spread could be determined. 4 additional cases were discovered who were not yet producing SCP-340. All 7 were taken into Foundation custody. The team then distributed Class A amnestics and followed cover-up procedure Gimel 2, the tragic fire scenario. The fuck? Okay. That's a fun bit of irony.
Yeah.
For a brief summary of the 7 SCP-340 carriers, now denoted SCP-340-1 through 7, see Document 340-1.
You're free to keep reading. I need to go take care of something real quick.
Okay. Addendum 340-2. SCP-340 doesn't kill the host's oral bacteria, and the antibiotics can't stave off infection forever. Surgical removal of the host's teeth will be safer in the long run than trying to deal with abscesses, bone infection, and sepsis. Do we have a laparoscopic surgeon on staff? Dr. Cairns. Document 340-1, Inventory SCP-340-1 through 7. SCP-340-1, Caucasian male, age at retrieval 12. SCP-340 production at retrieval positive. Notes: housed in site redacted. Okay, and -2 is African American, also 12, also positive. Not surprised. Oh no, okay, never mind. Not all of them are positive. Notes: deceased redacted, complications from surgical insertion of feeding tube. Caucasian male, age 11 at retrieval, positive, housed at site redacted, nothing to say. Hispanic male, age 12, production retrieval negative. Notes: underwater experimental treatment. As redacted, treatment failed, SCP-340 production induced, housed at site redacted. Caucasian male, age of retrieval 27. Negative for production, refused experimental treatment, voluntarily induced SCP-340 production. As redacted, housed at site redacted. Caucasian male, age at retrieval 12. Production at retrieval negative. Underwent experimental treatment, treatment failed. Production induced, and they were deceased sometime in the 2000s. It was voluntary self-termination. Jesus, okay. And I went through that rather quickly.
Sorry, I'm back.
Welcome back. Alright, you scroll down. The only one that's remaining is 13. Production was negative at retrieval. Underwent experimental treatments. Treatment initially believed successful. Deceased sometime in the 2000s, suffocation due to unexpected production. Not surprised.
Okay,
Damn.
did I miss anything?
That's
Marcus?
crazy. No.
Okay.
A couple of them tried experimental treatments, none of them seemed to work.
Alright, cool. The back porch camera had caught footage of a possum going up onto our porch,
Wow.
and my sister wanted me to go scare it off.
Wow. Did you
Yeah.
throw it?
No, I didn't even see it out there.
Oh.
So it might already fucked off. Either that or it saw me.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Man, I don't know if I can handle
Another.
this. We might have to call Scream here. But then
Another.
my mom sent me a video of it climbing up onto the porch and it tripped going up the stairs and she called it a fat ass.
Item number. SCP-341, Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. The exhibition hall at Reliquary Research and Containment Site 76 has SCP-341 on display for all research and command personnel to view. Description. A collection of 11 brass and iron orreries found in a large storage room of a basement of Oxford comprise SCP-341. Each orrery is a rough-scale model of a different extrasolar star system, complete with planets, moons, and one or more suns in the center. A unique clockwork mechanism under each orrery allows the brass models of planets and moons to spin on an axis and rotate around each model of its parent stars. Testing dates each machine to be between 150 to 200 years old, without any specific markings. Without any specific markings, researchers have been unable to determine who created them. Jesus Christ, learn to read. The orrery collection at SCP-341 was set to be released into the hands of a local museum until an SCP astronomer with a piqued interest in the discovery recognized one of the orreries, SCP-341-E, as star system Upsilon Andromeda A, unique for being a solar twin of our own sun with hot Jupiter-like planets. Okay. Further research has matched 5 of the 11 orreries with possible known extrasolar systems, including Beta Canem Venaticorum, 37 Geminorum, HD 98618, and 18 Scorpii. One orrery, known as the Wheel of Doom among researchers, depicts a similar solar system very reminiscent to our own sols, though the planets and sun themselves are neither near to scale nor spaced proportionately. The presence of 7 major planets of our own system is fairly obvious, including Saturn and its rings and the tilted side of Uranus. There are also 5 minor planets included beyond the orbit of Neptune. The orrery is missing a model of Earth and instead has a free moon roaming through a debris field similar to the asteroid belt present between Mars and Jupiter. Why is this thing an SCP? I like it, but...
I think they're of solar systems that they would have no way of actually knowing existed.
I guess it's just the implication of how do we have an accurate model of this? But like...
Yeah, I think it's more like okay, we could just say they put these balls on at random, but this is an exact recreation of this solar system that they should have no way of knowing even exists.
I just think it's like, it's cool. I like the idea of this. It's just that this almost doesn't need to be an SCP.
Part about it, other than the fact that they should.
I was like,
know.
okay, is it like self-propel, and that's why it's just in the center of fucking Site 76 so people can look at it?
You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about calling it today. Oh my!
Ugh.
Oh
yep,
my
yeah,
God!
Fuck you. Die.
No, that was originally a joke, but I don't. Fuck!
Your break's over, bitch.
God.
We could save it for next time if you actually want to stop.
I'm torn between wanting to finish this one now to have it out of the way, or like starting it next time, because it's like I don't want to start the stream with this.
I mean, we could start with a suggestion next time.
I mean, yeah, it's just starting with the suggestion depends on if somebody's actually there to suggest something.
Yeah, we could just ask Rich to make a suggestion.
Give me a moment to think this one over, because this is a really long article.
Hasn't it been like 15 minutes since you've read something?
It's been a while, but this is still a monolith. Like,
Yeah.
the past 4 articles you've read probably don't match up to this.
I don't think it's quite that bad, but yeah.
Like,
this
just
is
look
a
at how
big one.
thick all of these are.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Like, this is all just straight text. Like, there's
Oh
no
yeah,
breakups
that's the
anywhere.
stuff. Actually, wait, hang on. These. Oh, this is like a personally written one. Hell,
There's
I almost
Clef
read this.
here. I saw Kondraki. Those are
Oh.
2 major names.
Oh,
A
we
brand
might
new
be
Mercedes.
we might be in for something good, actually.
This could be really good. Yeah, it's just like oh my god. This is a fucking wall of text. Oh my god, the rating.
Ooh, this must be a. This must actually be a good one.
Yeah, this. Oh boy. Okay. Give me a moment to like mentally prepare myself. Get a few like brain rot reels in real quick.
Christ.
The fat ass fell up the stairs.
Maybe I'll just read it instead. You're clearly not in any state to read. Fucking, had I known this was coming, I wouldn't have read the last 3. Because, like, I am down to clown, but also I don't want to be the only one reading. It's your fucking stream.
Yeah, that's fair. I was just sending you the video because you might appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Okay. I'll at least start it. If I might need to tag in like halfway through the article though. Item number SCP-342. Object class Euclid. Special containment procedures. SCP-342 can be safely stored in its case file folder in an envelope stapled to the inside cover, as it poses no danger so long as it is not actively used. Said case file folder should be kept in a secure file cabinet in high-value item storage and protected by a standard array of biological, chemical, mimetic, and physical positive action defenses. Description. SCP-342 normally takes the form of a mass transit ticket for the closest form of mass transportation to its current location. At the moment, it takes the form of a train ticket, departing from a redacted station. When held by a sentient person for any length of time, it will eventually change form into a transit ticket for a form of transportation the holder desires to use. This transformation always takes place by not being directly or indirectly observed. No recordings of SCP-342 changing form exist at this time. SCP-342 is indistinguishable from any valid transit ticket and may be used as such. Should SCP-342 be validated by stamp, have its ticket stub torn off, or be disposed of, it will reform itself into an unused ticket after a short period of time. SCP Foundation personnel should be on site to recover SCP-342 after the conclusion of any field experiments. Anyone who uses SCP-342 to board a vehicle is unable to exit said vehicle by any means. Once the vehicle ends its route and ceases movement, the user will disappear from this reality. Users report a mounting feeling of dread prior to boarding the vehicle, which increases during the course of the journey, and culminates in panic-inducing terror shortly before disappearance. Specific phenomena often resemble acute paranoid schizophrenia and include a perception of increased darkness of the sky outside, the vehicle, fog, premature night, or most frequently, dreary, depressing weather. Auditory hallucinations, most frequently misperception of normal announcements by drivers and passengers, i.e., an announcement of the next stop is heard as a declaration that the user will never stop.
It does on that help me.
Normal objects, such as other passengers and non-threatening items, suddenly taking a threatened tone or appearance. Sorry, Junior's cleaning his paw and it distracted me. An almost pathological fear of the drivers, conductors, and other transit staff. Strange occurrences completely preventing the rider from getting off the vehicle. The absolute knowledge that it is impossible to get off.
The absolute knowledge.
Use it to kill 682. Right.
Yeah.
Inability to perceive other passengers exiting and entering the vehicle. Users report that other passengers appear to simply appear and vanish from their seats, and in some cases cannot perceive that a passenger has exited the vehicle, continuing to see them in their seats. Inability to hear or perceive attempts to calm or reason with them. Although the most acute experiences are limited to the user only, bystanders, including agents assigned to observe the subject, do report feelings of uneasiness and will be compelled to exit the vehicle early, seeking other means of transportation. Addendum 342A. Object was discovered in Chicago during 1936 by Redacted. Case was reopened several years later as it was hoped that advances in technology would allow for a deeper understanding of Redacted. Addendum 342B. The importance of retrieving SCP-342 after it's validated for travel cannot be understated. Please see report... Dr. Lank incident, in which SCP-342 was not successfully retrieved after validation, resulting in a 6-month-long containment breach causing the disappearances of several New York City civilians. SCP Foundation personnel are requested and required to use any means up to and including impersonation of a peace officer, intimidation, and threats, actual use of deadly force to retrieve the item. Damn. You're getting on the bus to another world, TM mother comma fucker. Okay. Addendum C. Agent Redacted Report. Our first experiment with the ticket had a Class D personnel member enter onto a bus using the object. We stationed agents at each of the stops to observe his behavior without actually entering onto the vehicle. A precaution in case everyone who got on was in the same way affected. The old reports were vague in this area. Many times he simply sat in place or paced up and down the aisles. Increasingly he began to stare outside in horror, and the last few times we could not locate him. At the final point before the bus was to be parked for the night, we saw him pounding on the window with a pleading expression, screaming towards the agents for help as it pulled away. A strange mist filling much of the background behind him. As we could not draw many conclusions from this event, we decided to track down some of the passengers and interrogate them, to hopefully shed some light on what happened. Many were hesitant to talk or claimed that they did not notice anything, saying they were preoccupied by something or distracted by illness, aches, or feelings of foreboding. We finally found some useful information from 3 boys, one 15-year-old, 2 16-year-olds, who were riding the bus near the front or part of the trip. We were told that our test subject had tried to leave several times, but his pulling on the stop bell was always ignored, and the doors seemed to close right before he could get out. He would run and just not make it, or walk from a distance and get manipulated into the back of the line. Finally, he sat right at the head of the bus so he could be close enough to get out in time, but every chance he got, there were too many people swarming on or off for him to leave. Something about this event seemed to bother the boys. One of them was particularly irritated, but could not explain the source. Under hypnosis, he described what to him was a moment of pure dread, that he had seen a few people in the crowd of passengers actually push the man back on, suddenly holding him back or trip him, all while staring ahead innocently, like they didn't even notice that they were doing it. Finally, after shouting at the driver that he wanted to get off for a good 10 minutes, which the driver ignored aside from requesting that the subject sit still and be quiet, the man went back to his seat, apparently giving up in despair. 2 of the boys said that the man actually shrieked and stumbled back in his seat with fright when the driver turned around at him. The other didn't realize that the 2 were in conflict, which is contrary to his usual habit of avidly looking for and watching fights on the particularly rough inner city buses.
Incredible.
After going back to his seat, the boys said they promptly forgot about the subject, most likely because he was not struggling anymore. The next time they saw him, he was 3 seats back, then 5, then 7, but at no point could they recall seeing him stand up from his seat to move further back. This was all they could tell us, and it seemed to cost them plenty to even reveal this. On a side note, at the end of our session, the youngest teen screamed it was like it swallowed him in the end, and promptly had to be hospitalized for extreme psychosis.
Damn.
Addendum 342D, Subway Experiment 2. Note by Supervising Officer. Subway Experiment 2 was the first time we had an observer alongside the passenger. Agent Stram paid attention to the smallest details of the Class D personnel's behavior, took various fluid samples, and tested organs, mostly the heart and brain, until the man became too aggressive to examine. He also recorded an excellent log of all the subjective and objective events. Since the physical examinations provided no special signs, except that the subject was in the midst of a typical nervous breakdown, said information has been placed in document 342D Alpha. Only the most relevant information has been included here. The two men bought passage, the prisoner presenting the ticket. Immediately he became aggravated and said to the person accepting his ticket, "What did you say to me, bitch? Are you threatening me?" He was quickly hurried along to avoid an incident, and it was almost immediately separated from the agent accompanying him by a pair of security guards. Agent Stram reports that the guards appeared to be in a trance and attempted to separate him from the user, softly chanting, "One at a time, please." Nevertheless, he managed to push his way through by force, although he was forced to knock down one officer who attempted to interpose himself between Agent Stram and the door. On the train, the user became very quiet, surprising as he was one of our most violent D-Class personnel. Agent Stram continued testing and interviewing until the prisoner said softly, "Let me off of this fucking train." Agent Stram said that they could leave after a few more hours, at which point the user became insanely aggressive and began jumping up and down off the walls and swinging on the bars and holders and howling like a primate. Agent Stram knocked him out with a blow to the head from his truncheon and handcuffed him to a Jesus Christ!
Donk.
To assuage civilian fears, he held up a badge and said that he was a U.S. Marshal and went back to his analysis. Physical analysis indicated that the prisoner had entered a REM sleep state after only 3 minutes, which is especially unusual in a subject who had been knocked unconscious. After the subject woke up, Agent Stram made the decision to abort the experiment and told the D-Class subject that he would help him get off the subway as soon as possible. If he cooperated, holding him tightly, they attempted to leave but were prevented from doing so by the crowd. Agent Stram attempted to exit a second time at the next stop, taking the precaution of holding up his badge and ordering all passengers to remain in their seats. Nonetheless, he was prevented from exiting the vehicle by the crowd boarding the train. Agent Stram reported that the prisoner was almost pulled away from him. He was unable to determine by what means, but claimed that the hands that pulled him back didn't belong to any passengers. Fortunately, Agent Stram had handcuffed himself to the subject and was able to maintain contact with the D-Class personnel, although his attempt to exit the vehicle was unsuccessful. Now in a state of panic, the prisoner clung to the agent like a frightened child so tightly that Stram had bruise marks on his chest and arms for days, and screamed several times that the handcuffs were slipping off. In the chaos, Agent Stram's badge was knocked out of his hand and he sustained a blow to the side of the head. During the ride to the third stop, Agent Stram, in a highly aggravated manner, interrogated the new passengers to find out who had hit him. No one would give him any hint or clues, and many became hysterical at the merest question or touch. One woman began wailing when Agent Stram grabbed her shoulder, although she was later silenced when he began shaking her vigorously. Security cameras record Agent Stram throwing a male passenger to the floor and striking another in the face while the D-Class personnel wept and clung to his leg. Given the extraordinary circumstances, the Board of Inquiry has chosen not to reprimand him for his lack of control. Agent Stram made a third attempt to get the prisoner off the train, choosing to take a coordinated approach. Using his radio, he communicated with agents at the next stop. Despite difficulty due to static interference, unusually, both sides said they heard the person talk in a quiet, small voice like a frightened child, although both sides reported that they were using raised voices to be heard over the static. It was at this point that the prisoner began beating on the door, screaming to be let off the vehicle. Agent Stram, although sympathetic, warned the user that he would sedate him if he continued. This seemed to dismay the prisoner more than anything else. According to Agent Stram, he stated, "No, that's how it started. A lonely dark ride in unknown parts of the country. Travelers and drifters, the unattached, they would fall asleep with a bottle of booze, and oh god, when they woke up, they'd still be going. Still be on. Don't you get it? They wake up, and even though they slept for hours, they'd still be on. who knows where. He then stated his intent to cooperate and curled up in a fetal position, rocking slowly. At the next stop, agents Macabaron, Kenuler, Smith, and Jacobs accompanied Dr. Gunther, the project head, boarded the subway and began pushing their way through the crowd towards Agent Stram and the subject. Despite efforts to intimidate the crowd, progress was difficult until Agent Smith fired his weapon into the ceiling and threatened a deadly force. The subway car was evacuated of all other passengers and a protective cordon was placed around the subject. Agent Jacobs ordered the driver to shut down the subway. When the driver appeared confused, he ordered that all power to the subway be cut off. SCP Foundation personnel in the guise of transit authority officers then evacuated the entire train platform and station of all civilians. Agent Stram, Macabiran, Singular, and Smith, and Dr. Gunther then attempted to lead the prisoner off the train. Despite all efforts to lead, cajole, and force him off the train, no efforts were successful. Agent Stram ceased his efforts after the prisoner was threatened with deadly force by Agent Smith. Screaming at his fellow agent that he's not holding on to anything, there's some kind of wall. Other agents appeared confused, claiming that the subject was maliciously attempting to impede exit by holding onto one of the support bars. They continued in this assertion until it was pointed out to them by the impossibility that this could take place, given that both the prisoner's hands were being held by agents at that time. Dude, you got him by the hand! How could he be grabbing something? In a last desperate effort to extract the subject, the personnel attempted to dismantle the subway
Incredible.
around the user through the use of cutting torches and power tools. Agent Stram remained with the subject while the others exited to help Foundation personnel prepare. While the equipment was being set up and everyone's backs were turned, the doors closed and the train immediately started up and pulled away of its own accord. The agents did not manage to catch up until the next stop, and passengers immediately filed on, despite their commands not to. Agent Stram was later discovered lying on the subway platform 8 kilometers away in a comatose state. One end of his handcuffs was still attached to his own wrist, but the other was empty. Traces of blood found on the metal have been determined to belong to the subject.
Damn. He was beaten to death in Miami.
Yeah. Addendum 342-E. Subway Experiment 3. Possibly due to the mental trauma of his loss of subject D-342-D, Agent Stram volunteered to be the subject of the next experiment. Oh my god. Baller.
Damn.
Holy shit. Stating that someone more knowledgeable of our terms and procedures could provide better communication. 05-7 approved this after much pleading from Agent Stram. Agent Aaron and Dr. Haber, close friends of Agent Stram, accompanied him on his trip. The ride in the subway started out normally enough, although Dr. Haber noticed that Agent Aaron and Stram appeared to share a closer understanding of the phenomenon experienced by Dr. Stram, perhaps as a result of their close friendship. Agent Aaron's empathy allowed Agent Stram to remain coherent and sane for the entire length of the ride, and was able to calmly and rationally talk about seeming otherworldly events without breakdown of linguistic and mental functions. For this reason, this experiment was the most useful and rewarding, and a full log of the sequence of events experienced by Agent Stram can be found in the attached documentation. Of particular note, Agent Stram made no effort to leave the subway or even consider the possibility of doing so. This acceptance of his fate may have allowed an avoidance of mental anguish, as seen in the following log. It's a really short log for an entire
I think there is
ride.
more.
Dr. Haber and Stram, then Aaron. Stram and Aaron, I guess I'll take.
Still have Dr.
What?
Haber?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, we've got what we need. Now let's try to get you off this thing.
No.
Excuse me?
It's too risky. We could get separated or hurt. We know that happens. We know what happens every time. Something bad. I'm not taking that chance.
But he's doing so well. Maybe that's all it is. A willpower thing. You're keeping yourself together. You're calm. You're composed. doesn't control you. That's it. All it takes is a strong will to pass through the gates.
If there is a test, it's not here. It's at the end of it all. That's where he's going to need us, need our support. That's where it's going to happen.
We can't just let him. Here's the stop. I say we at least attempt it for results.
You'll get your results, alright, Doc.
Jesus.
Step back. It was at this point that a homeless man traveling on the train hurled Dr. Haber across the room and broke his neck.
Oh, okay.
Jesus!
Well,
Before being
rest in
shot
peace.
4 times in the chest by Agent Aaron. Foundation personnel waiting at the next platform quickly evacuated them from this train on stretchers. The vagrant died on the way to the base, and although transported in a highly secure ambulance, his body disappeared when passing through an abandoned part of town, specifically under a ruin of a train bridge. Agent Aaron ordered the train evacuated and stated his intention to continue the experiment alone, remaining with Stram. Hallucinations continued as the trip progressed. Agent Aaron reported seeing flickering shadows and strange phenomena, while Stram reported more overt hallucinations, including Agent Aaron's face melting apart to reveal a horned, red-faced monster, and the very metals and materials of the train beginning to melt like wax and mold and reform strangely. Aaron said he found it extremely difficult to think logically or concentrate, but he persevered to stay attached and talking to a personally deranged Stram. Oh, fuck, dude.
This is cool.
This is a really good article. This experiment has led to the formation of the idea that the user travels on 2 separate trains. The first, the 4-dimensional vehicle of reality, and the second, the so-called shadow train that overlaps the first. Both trains move at the same rate, with passengers and personnel perceiving one or the other to various degrees until the real train reaches the end of the line and stops moving, while the shadow train continues. According to Agent Aaron, shortly after reaching the end of the line, Agent Stram began to slowly drift forwards towards the front of the train, passing through solid material in the process. When pointed out to Agent Stram, Stram became perturbed and began to run backwards towards the back of the train. Upon reaching the midpoint of the third-to-last car, Stram began to pound his fist against the air, stating that he was at the end of the train, and it's moving, it's pulling out of the station, and that he was unable to proceed further. Agent Aaron attempted to halt Agent Stram's progress, but succeeded only in knocking him to the ground, at which point Stram quickly accelerated towards the front of the train, sliding on his stomach. Fingernail marks were later found in the carpet where he had clawed at the ground in an attempt to halt his progress. Agent Stram passed through the closed conductor's compartment door and into the conductor's compartment, where he immediately began to cry out in terror. Agent Aaron stated at this point that he drew his service revolver and attempted a benevolent termination of Agent Stram, but was unable to do so through the reinforced glass of the conductor's compartment door. His last reported observation of Agent Stram states that he saw a creature kind of like an enormous spider but wearing a conductor's hat. Really funny mental image. Looking up from the levers, wrapping Jerry in a web like a cocoon, and then throwing him through the window like it was air. The creature then turned towards Agent Aaron and ordered him to exit the train, at which point Agent Aaron lost consciousness from terror. He was later found huddled at the back of the train car with an empty weapon, continuing to pull the trigger on an empty cylinder over and over and over until the weapon was confiscated from him by personnel. Jesus!
Wow.
Would you like to take over at this point?
Sure, if you would stop scrolling.
Yeah, I was just checking how much was left.
That's sick. Addendum 342F, Dr. Gunsther's supplemental report. We set up several situations to try and discover the controls, parameters, and triggers of SCP-342. First, we used a company bus and a driver that worked for our organization, and had the prisoner as the only passenger. Nothing happened, even though the ticket was ripped before entering onto the vehicle. We attempted numerous other iterations of the same concept, prisoners entering a company bus along with other agents, and we also had a ticket present to gain entrance. We had them speak of this loudly and obviously, and even denied one agent entrance because he did not have a ticket. Still, the object did not change to resemble a ticket for the fictional transportation system we created. Next, we had unaware citizens entering onto our bus, using tickets we had previously distributed. Once again, the ticket did not change, and our rider was able to leave at any time. We then exchanged our company bus driver for drivers hired from newspaper want ads. The drivers seemed confident at first, and were very excited about the prospects we were offering them. But when the prisoner came aboard, either on an empty bus or a full one, the driver suddenly became very bewildered and overwhelmed, saying that the controls for our bus were too advanced or new for him. He didn't understand the dashboard. He was more comfortable with his own bus and couldn't drive this one, even if the same model bus was used. Attempts to refresh the driver's memory as to the method of operating the bus failed further, until even the steering wheel was considered too complicated. After this failure, it was determined to allow the drivers to use their own buses, making deals with the corporations and public departments in the guise of a higher-level government bureaucracy. We had them set aside a special time where they would only pick up the prisoner and when they would stop. Although the bosses were fine with this, when the moment came, the drivers refused to change their routine for egg-headed paper pushers. Based. All of them continued on the preset pathways, saying they were too busy or didn't have the time of day to go to different routes just because someone ordered them to. Finally, we made a deal with a driver named Bucky Folsworth that he would pick up our passenger along his normal route and would only switch with another driver, one of our personnel, halfway through. Driver Folsworth was offered considerable compensation, was told that failure to cooperate would result in his termination from employment, was instructed to constantly be in contact with us via radio, and to stop at the 5th stop, park the vehicle, and let one of our agents get on to drive. In hindsight, we realized that perhaps the ticket was luring us closer and closer to this edge, by presenting situations that were so close yet did nothing, in hopes of having us go just one more alteration further until we crossed the line and allowed it to become fully active. He looked if you would. When the prisoner neared the bus stop, the ticket turned to resemble a ticket to that specific vehicle. After realizing this would be another doomed ride, several members of our team cautioned restraint and suggested we send an agent to accompany the prisoner. The consensus was we did not want to jeopardize a fragile situation that could suddenly fail at the slightest touch. I will admit a personal failing, as I was tantalized by the prospect of having one of our own be in control of the phenomena, and the vitally important data that could be gathered. Unfortunately, our giddiness and desire to not to mess with a very important, perhaps once-in-a-lifetime chance only damned another person. When the bus driver reached the 5th stop, he halted the vehicle as instructed. However, as he attempted to leave his seat, the brakes on the vehicle failed, allowing the bus to speed down the hill, crushing a little girl crossing the street under its wheels. At first, we thought this was an attempt by SCP-342 to lash out against us, at having outwitted it and kept the prisoner out of its grasp. Shortly afterwards, we realized that the important fact was not that the child was killed, but that the bus was still moving, and driver Folsworth was still in command of the vehicle. We tried to get in communication with Bucky, but he refused to talk. We thought maybe this was because he felt guilty for the death of the child and was worried he was going to be punished. So we tried to reassure him that if he stopped now, there would be no repercussions. At this, we got the first word from him, a simple no. We knew that we would have to use physical force to halt the bus. Setting up roadblocks and tire treads, we punctured 2 of the tires and temporarily managed to tip it over on its side. However, he somehow managed to go onto the highway, and at one point we lost him when he went onto the road. When he was found again, he was speeding, going at least 130 miles per hour in the middle of traffic in the opposite direction. At this point, he was a danger to the entire populace, not just the prisoner. We told local law enforcement to stand down and chased after him with cars and helicopters. The last statement we got from him was, "I'm not pulling over. I'm a driver, and that's what I do. That's my purpose. I don't need to switch. I can get him where he's going." After this, he shot off the freeway into open space for about 10 seconds before crashing into a lower lane. We don't know if this was intentional or not, as at the same time he veered towards the sides and headed towards the rails at a slant. A bullet was put into his head by an aerial sniper. From reports, the bus hit the ground and exploded into a fiery blaze. There were no survivors, and many bodies were never discovered or declared missing. One report from a bystander, a 26-year-old woman driving in the next lane over, who was suspended upside down by her seatbelt and sustained a blow to her head from the crash, is of particular interest. She states that she saw a second identical bus rise out of the smoke and pull aside the wreck. It opened its door with a large mechanical sound and waited there for a few seconds, until out of the flames came a single burning silhouette shaped like a human corpse. The corpse was said to have entered the bus and sat down, which then pulled away, smoothly navigating the pileup before disappearing. We tried the same parameters: real vehicle, real passenger, real driver who knows what's going on, is in contact. 3 more times, or the trains this time. We also had agents stationed at the train each time. However, the same mix-up happened over and over again. The prisoners explicably went on the wrong, unsafe train, even if it was clear which one to enter. Somehow, they got disoriented in the mob and entered the incorrect train, with no personnel, safeties, or special equipment on it. From my assistant, Dr. Haber's log, following his recovery from his prior accident.
Alright, we've got like 4 people here.
Okay, cool. I'll take
I
Haber
take
like
Dr.
last
Haber
time.
and Prisoner, you take Rupert and Ogle.
Yeah, I'll just take the doctors. Okay, you're going to go on that train over there.
Okay.
Just present your ticket and get on. There will be a man in a black suit waiting for you near the end.
I get it already.
Alright, go. No, to your left. Don't get on. Stop. Fuck. God damn it. Package lost. Damn it. Fucking son of a...
Damn it, you Warrens were supposed to track him. What the hell were you doing?
We were tracking him. We just lost... What a senseless waste.
This is silly fucking little... God, fuck. Got away again.
Your left.
No, not my... Your left.
1 second. Jesus fuck, okay. Okay, Addendum 342G. Cessation of experimentation order. Somehow, in the course of the most recent events, Dr. Haber got his neck stuck in the door while trying to help one of the subjects exit the train. As the train pulled away from the station, he was decapitated when it went past a jutting stone ledge. Because of this, and the other unmitigable casualties that happen after every normal experiment, one test subject per experiment, we have decided to end our research. 058, upon our urging, has invoked Statute 62, meaning that no other teams can perform trials on the object without our permission or the overruling of all 12 overseers. We have decided to grant permission if they come to us with a novel test idea, one that has not been done before, and, as the usual experiments, only waste lives and grant us no additional information. On a related note, several civilians have been buzzing on the topic of a haunting, specifically some kind of specter on the train system that carries a mysterious bundle in its lap while riding trains, roughly the size of a human head. We have taken in several witnesses, but under no amount of hypnosis and drugging could they give us a description of the apparition's face, saying it was obscured by darkness, or tell us what was beyond the shoulders at all. Addendum 342H. God damn it. Excerpt from Dr. Gunster's personal log. Dr. Johannes Gettram has disappeared from his house today. You can't escape in the end. A year ago, we tried an experiment when the ticket would be torn, but the rider would not get on. Dr. Gettram decided to be the one to redeem the ticket, and immediately afterwards hand it to an agent and walk away to a special on-site protection zone, keeping a journal of his experiences. The journal, attached to the file, speaks of severe anxiety, neurosis, fear, and paranoia. He had unrelenting fear of roads and often spent the night on site so he would not have to leave. After several weeks of not leaving work and suffering the mental and physical results of that, he was sent to a psychologist for review. He brought up his research and asked to be quarantined for his own safety and others, but the way he went about his plea prejudiced many against him and sent a ripple of disgust over his pathetic antics through the office. His tactics backfired, and instead he was merely hunted off to some small project not even directly involving SCPs. The entire group was becoming more and more fed up with him, arriving late, sweating profusely, and looking disheveled because he had walked the whole way, refusing to accompany any field work that involved getting there by transportation, and especially at his habit of always requesting rides home, both for personal reasons and because his car, a brand new Mercedes, kept breaking down on the way home. After attacking a tow truck driver with his own wrench for telling him he should take a bus home, he was dismissed for an undecided amount of time and confined to house arrest. This morning, thick tire tracks were found on the suburban street where he lives. He was reported missing by his wife, who remembers hearing him say, "Well, I guess it's time to go." Neighbors report being woken up by the loud sound of a door opening and the sound of a large vehicle driving away. A suitcase, filled with his clothing, was found by the side of the road. Had he accepted his fate in the end enough to pack? Either way, he apparently didn't need it where he was going. Addendum 342I, except from Dr. Clef's personal log. At the risk of sounding melodramatic, SCP-342 has finally taken out its oldest arch-nemesis. 3 days ago, Dr. Gunster and I were going through some of his old files for archival when he came across the file for SCP-342. Gunster removed 342 from its envelope and laid it on his desk as we discussed the object's history, as well as his own regrets for the number of lives senselessly lost in the research of the project. Our discussion was cut short by the fact that we had made an appointment to watch a showing of Repo, the Genetic Opera, with Dr. Wrights and Kondraki later that evening. I noticed that Dr. Gunster became somewhat perturbed shortly after presenting his ticket at the door, and asked me to go on ahead and save his seat for him. He arrived shortly after and sat down next to us, although he seemed preoccupied and distressed throughout the show. Given the subject matter, I believe this to be a normal reaction to the grotesqueries on stage. Afterwards, as Kondraki, Wrights, and I discussed retiring to a bar for drinks, Dr. Gunster stated that it was time for him to leave, handing me an envelope and warning me to keep it safe. He thanked me for a splendid evening and wished me the best in my future endeavors. He then boarded a taxicab, which sped off unusually quickly into the night. Upon opening the envelope, I noticed that there were 2 identical tickets for his seat at the musical, one of which transformed into a $20 bill as we approached a trendy bar with a $20 bill cover charge. Realizing what had happened, I then proceeded rapidly back to the place where Dr. Gunster had boarded the taxi and ran back down the street that the taxi had taken, following closely by my confused colleagues. The street, as it turned out, was an alleyway that ended in a brick wall 50 feet from the street. No trace of Dr. Gunster has been seen since that time. It is my belief that Dr. SCP-342 took the form of Dr. Gunster's ticket to the musical, redeemed itself at the door, and thus it doomed him to the same fate as its prior victims. Dr. Gunster, upon opening his wallet to purchase a beverage, realized what had happened and returned to the front door to recover SCP-342. Given the SCP's prior murderous history, he must have made the decision not to inform us of the incident, keeping us safely ignorant for the time being. When I think of the amount of mental fortitude it must have required to remain calm during the musical, knowing his inevitable fate, I am struck with a sense of loss at the passing of an inestimably valuable asset to the Foundation. For this reason, I am requesting that this file be permanently sealed and no further experiments be carried out on this item. One disturbing development. Prior reports indicate that SCP-342 can only take the form of a ticket for mass transit, whereas in this case, it took on the form of a ticket for a stage play. I understand that there is a group in the Foundation that is seeking to reopen experimentation on the object in light of these new developments. Further updates as events warrant.
That was a really fucking good article. I think this just objectively
Incredible.
gets the favorite.
Yeah.
I think this gets just we're gonna pick 2. Like me and you are gonna pick 1. But we are gonna mention this one as this was just objectively the best one today.
This was very good.
This is a really well done article. This is incredible. Like we did learn new things as it kept going, but like it still pulls you in with just the story, the characters, like that. It's wonderful. This is not
The fact that the fact that it can evolve and is clearly has a consciousness of sorts, even if it's not like sentient per se.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Okay, you're not playing by the rules I've set out. Fine.
Like, that one was an incredible, phenomenal article.
It
Love
fucking
that.
beheaded the one guy out of spite. Alright, so... I actually really liked the viral rebreather. It was a neat concept, even if a little simple. Portable radio was neat. I mean, oh, phony marching band was there.
Mine goes to the
VOD.
floppy disks.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like we can. I feel like we can make an exception for 342 because we both really like that one.
342.
The last one we read, Helix. Come on.
Yeah, I was giving that one a pass anyway. That one's getting mentioned whether or not.
Okay,
you
so
said
we
it
were
was.
so we were in agreement. Just
Yeah, like the message
Yeah.
I've got typed out now is 342, undeniably the best SCP from tonight. Other than that, my favorite was this one, and yours will go after that.
hard to say.
That's right. Tumbles was pretty good.
Tumbles was a fun little silly. I liked it.
Yeah, Hairball was good.
There were a lot of decent ones once we got past the ones that desperately need a rewrite.
Yeah. There was this.
Floppy. I like the novelty of the floppy disks one, but it's also relatively simple. Not a bad thing by any means, but I don't know if I
I
can
would
call
have
it
liked
favorite.
some more info on what was on the different discs, but at the same time, it's the internet. And there wasn't much more info than needed to be shared.
I think I'm gonna go with either rebreather membrane or marching band.
I'll pop it in as rebreather membrane.
Yeah. It's like that one's a simple concept, but it's
Alright, well that'll be all for today's stream. Thank you everyone for watching, and goodbye!
my voice hurts.